Chapter 349. That Grand Hall Master. What kind of pill furnace does Lin Xian have? The elders of the Pill Emperor Hall inquired. DK shook his head, not saying a word. Don't tell me he still wants to concoct pills with his bare hands today? The elders trembled. Even the third and second hall masters had curious expressions on their faces. Right now, Lin Xian was their hope. Everything about Lin Xian represented the glory of the Pill Emperor Hall. I once wanted to give him a pill furnace, but he rejected it. I think he should have his own pill furnace. In the Heavenly Mountain Empire, every alchemist had their own pill furnace. Moreover, they wouldn't change their pill furnaces easily. After all, a pill furnace that had been used for a long time felt better. Everyone stared at the stone platform, their hearts filled with anticipation. I want to see what you can take out. Duan Fei touched the Crimson Dawn spiritual stove in front of him as he laughed coldly. In the distance, He Nian's eyes flickered with coldness. Lin Xian didn't panic. With a light flick of his finger, a pill furnace appeared in front of him. The crowd impatiently looked over, and many of them froze on the spot. In front of Lin Xian, there was a pill furnace. However, this pill furnace was too strange. Its entire body was dark yellow, without a trace of light, as though it was made of mud. There were even cracks in some places. No matter how one looked at it, it didn't look like a pill furnace. Ha 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 ha. I'm dying of laughter. Duan Fei laughed maniacally. Lin Xian, this is your pill furnace. As expected, it's very compatible with you. His Crimson Dawn spiritual stove was surrounded by multicolored light, as though it was a divine item. It completely crushed Lin Xian's mud furnace. Even He Nian had a look of disdain on his face. If it's only at this level, I'll definitely win this round. Below, the crowd was dumbfounded. Those from the Pill Emperor Hall were stunned. Their minds were blank. DK was also stunned. He thought that Lin Xian would have a good pill furnace, but he didn't expect it to be such a strange thing. Can this thing be used to concoct pills? DK shook his head repeatedly. Forget it. Little friend Lin is incomparably mysterious. The things he takes out are definitely not ordinary. Although DK could not accept it immediately, he still chose to believe in Lin Xian unconditionally. What do you mean by mysterious? He's just a little bastard who's trying to act mysterious. Song Yunqing sneered. He did not think that Lin Xian could win with the mud pill furnace. Dean Song, we should be more careful around He Nian, Elder Blackheart reminded from the side. He was also disdainful of Lin Xian's mud stove. Didn't this fellow say that he would go all out? President Meng Chuan couldn't sit still any longer. President Meng, it's about time. Can we begin? He Ming asked confidently from afar. All right. President Meng Chuan's expression darkened slightly as he pressed down with both hands. His voice echoed in the square. Instantly, everyone in the Wind Moon Plaza quieted down. I hereby announce the start of the third round. I hope everyone can give it their all. President Meng Chuan announced loudly. He even emphasized the words "go all out," as if he was afraid that Lin Xian would be mistaken. As soon as President Meng Chuan finished speaking, the contestants on the stone platform began to get busy. For this round, they would take out their best pills and give it their all. Duan Fei waved his sleeves and produced dozens of herbs, forming an arc in the air. There's actually a stage 6 herb. It looks like Medicine Sovereign Courtyard is going all out this time. Meng Chuan was somewhat surprised. In the distance, He Nian also took out a stage 6 herb as a rich medicinal fragrance, wafted through the air. How generous! Lin Xian shrugged his shoulders and began to prepare the elixir to be refined. Old man DK had already provided him with the ingredients for his pills. There were a total of 3 sets, and the ingredients had been prepared overnight. This was because, although the pills Lin Xian had prepared in the past were of good quality, they were still a little low. Now that he had broken through to a third-grade alchemy inscription master, he could refine higher-grade pills. Furthermore, he had specially requested the pill formula from Lord Alcohol. Realgar Ancient Panacea Pill, a fourth-grade pill. It could cure hundreds of poisons and strengthen one's muscles and bones. If one entered the forest with a Realgar Ancient Panacea Pill, they could easily subdue a stage 5 demon beast. Most importantly, this pill could completely restrain snake-type demon beasts. Even if a fourth-grade alchemy inscription master refined such a pill, the success rate was less than 50%. If an alchemist below the fourth grade refined it, the success rate would be even lower. It wouldn't even be 10%. However, Lin Xian had a robust soul. Furthermore, he had a pill furnace that Lord Alcohol had specially refined for him, so he could give it a try. After taking out the spirit herbs, Lin Xian began to carefully deduce the formula. This was a fourth-grade pill, so he couldn't be careless. Just as he was deducing the pill formula, an exclamation came from the crowd below. Lin Xian also sensed something. He suddenly turned his head, and a surprised expression appeared on his face. This is a combination inscription. He was astonished as his eyes flickered as he carefully looked over. In front of Duan Fei was a circle of inscriptions that enveloped the red afterglow pill furnace, forming a magical combination. Combination inscriptions could greatly increase the efficiency of refining pills. It could be said to be an alchemist's treasure. Looks like I underestimated him. Lin Xian stroked his chin. With the combination inscriptions, Duan Fei's strength would increase greatly. He wouldn't be much weaker than some of the older third-grade alchemy inscriptionists. In addition, he had a spirit-grade furnace, so he could almost defeat ordinary third-grade alchemy inscriptionists. It's actually a combination inscription. Looks like the Medicine Emperor courtyard has put in a lot of effort. Old man DK was surprised. Buzz. The air trembled as a large number of pill inscriptions appeared around Hinyan, forming an unfathomable pattern. It's another combination inscription. Hinyan is starting to show his prowess. The crowd below exclaimed. On the spectator stand, He Ming looked at the stone platform with a calm heart. The current situation was great. Other than Duan Fei, who could compete with Hinyan in terms of equipment, the others couldn't. Even Lin Xian was far from it. Looks like he's definitely going to win this round. He Ming revealed a sinister smile. In addition to the results of the previous 2 rounds, Hinyan will be able to take first place in the second round. Looking at the contestants who were using their trump cards, Lin Xian was slightly surprised. As expected of the Alchemy King competition, everyone had a trump card. However, he wasn't someone to be trifled with. After calming himself down, Lin Xian began to refine the Realgar Ancient Panacea. Combination inscriptions? I have one too. He smiled and flicked his finger. Lines of complicated inscriptions appeared and formed an ancient pattern around him. The moment this set of inscriptions appeared, the spirit energy in the entire square became turbulent. Duan Fei and Hinyan's combination inscriptions trembled rapidly and almost disintegrated. Damn it! Hold it steady! Duan Fei shouted. Hinyan's face was also gloomy. She waved her hand continuously, and her soul power surged out crazily. Finally, she stabilized the inscriptions around her. What happened? The martial artists below didn't understand and looked up. Look, the inscriptions around Lin Xian. Someone exclaimed. There were countless inscriptions around Lin Xian. At this moment, they were absorbing the spirit energy of heaven and earth and constantly changing their shapes. As for Duan Fei and Hinyan's combination inscriptions, the light was much dimmer. I wonder what kind of pill Hinyan refined. Many people looked at the stone platform and were shocked. This technique seems to be a grade 4 medicinal pill. 4th rank? That's impossible. That's right. What's her cultivation level? She can actually concoct a 4th-grade medicinal pill? President, take a look. Is He Nian refining a 4th-grade pill? Someone asked. Meng Chuan had long noticed He Nian's actions. At that moment he was frowning. It is indeed a 4th-grade medicinal pill, profound yin pill. It really is a 4th-grade medicinal pill. The surrounding elders cried out in surprise. Even Song Yinxing and the others frowned. He Nian's strength far exceeded their imagination. If he could really refine it, he would probably be first. One had to know that a 4th-grade medicinal pill was already a very high grade. It was considered a precious medicinal pill in Heavenly Mountain. Damn it, I didn't expect this fellow to be so strong. If I had known, I would have killed her with one palm. DK said hatefully. He and President Meng Chuan both knew that He Nian wasn't a 15-year-old child at all. She was a monster who had lived for countless years. Now that he dared to refine a 4th-grade medicinal pill, he definitely had enough confidence. I wonder how Lin Xian will deal with her? DK was worried. President Meng Chuan was also worried. He didn't want the demons to win the competition. He let out a heavy breath and looked at the stone platform again. This time his gaze stopped on Lin Xian. Oh, he's almost done. Meng Chuan was surprised. The others were also shocked. They looked at Lin Xian in disbelief. One had to know that the others were only halfway done. It seems that the pill array is indeed powerful. It can actually increase the speed of pill refinement so quickly. Lin Xian controlled the pill furnace with an extremely solemn expression. The final process of pill refinement was very important. Not only did it determine the success, but it also determined the grade of the pill. A pill fragrance floated out of the pill furnace and spread in all directions. Duan Fei's expression was gloomy. He realized from the pill fragrance that Lin Xian's pill was of a higher grade than his. If he let Lin Xian finish first, then he would lose a lot of face. On the other hand, He Nian sneered after smelling the fragrance. It's just second-rate goods. It seems like I'll definitely win this time. Meng Chuan and the others were shocked when they sensed the pill fragrance. This aura seems to be a 4th-grade medicinal pill. Lin Xian actually refined a grade 4 medicinal pill. Cries of surprise rang out. The surrounding cultivators were all shocked, their faces revealing looks of shock. This fellow is too crazy. He's only a 3rd-grade pill inscription master, but he actually refined a 4th-grade medicinal pill, as expected of a peerless genius. Everyone praised, but Lin Xian's expression was slightly gloomy. He was not satisfied with the grade of the pill refinement this time. Although a 4th-grade medicinal pill was amazing, it was still not enough to win against He Nian. He knew that his opponent was definitely a terrifying pill inscription master. Sigh, it seems that I can only increase the grade. Lin Xian's palms moved quickly. He controlled the pill array with all his strength and crazily absorbed the spiritual energy of heaven and earth. This fellow is too reckless. President Meng Chuan stood up in shock. He naturally knew Lin Xian's intentions. However, such a crude method of increasing the grade of the pill was very likely to fail. This was a competition and time was limited. Every failure would have a profound impact on the final result. Moreover, the grade of a 4th-grade medicinal pill was not so easy to increase. Lin Xian's actions caused everyone to tense up, especially those from the Medicine Emperor courtyard and He clan. Their gazes were fixed on Lin Xian. The spiritual energy in the air vibrated and surged into the pill furnace, constantly fusing with the pill. Suddenly, the mud pill furnace trembled slightly, followed by a low sound. Bang! Although the sound was weak, it was still heard by everyone. Failed. Haha, he failed as expected. The Medicine Emperor courtyard's elder laughed loudly, his face full of schadenfreude. He families, He Ming also sneered. He actually wanted to increase the grade of a fourth-grade medicinal pill. How naive! The others let out a deep sigh of regret. What a pity. That's a fourth-grade medicinal pill. Even if the grade is not increased, it can still suppress the crowd. Yeah, he's too impatient. I hope he won't be affected by the mood of failure. Many people felt sorry for Lin Xian. Seeing Lin Xian fail, Duan Fei immediately became happy. Firstly, there was not much time left. Secondly, the mood of failure would definitely affect Lin Xian. Let's see what you can do next. He's indeed too young. Looks like the first place this time is mine. He Nian revealed a smug smile. Chapter 351. Lin Xian's failure caused an uproar, but he was lost in thought. The difficulty of refining a fourth-grade pill was beyond his imagination. It was already very heaven-defying to be able to forge it. If he wanted to raise its grade, it would be impossible. While everyone was still discussing Lin Xian's failure, a pill fragrance wafted out from the stone platform. Although this fragrance was much weaker than Lin Xian's, it was still not ordinary. This fragrance attracted everyone's attention. It's Song Qianqian from the Medicine Emperor courtyard. This smell, could it be a third-grade pill? Several elders' eyes flickered as they carefully identified it. Soon they raised their heads. It's indeed a third-grade pill. Everyone was shocked and looked at the stone platform in disbelief. Not bad. A second-grade pill inscription master can actually refine a third-grade pill. He's indeed a genius. Haha, Miss Qianqian is amazing. The Medicine Emperor courtyards, people cheered. On the stone platform, Song Qianqian's face was red and her eyes were filled with pride. In front of her was a bronze pill furnace. Although it was not as good as the Scarlet Dawn spiritual stove, it was not ordinary either. She relied on this pill furnace to refine a third-grade pill. The medicinal fragrance continued to spread, but at this time another pill fragrance wafted out. The intensity of this fragrance was even better than Song Qianqian's. Another third-grade pill. Everyone exclaimed. It's a third-grade pill. Many elders were shocked. Even they had a high chance of failure when refining such a pill. But now there was actually a young man who had succeeded. It's Duan Fei, someone from the Medicine Emperor courtyard. There are actually 2 disciples from the Medicine Emperor courtyard who have refined third-grade pills. It seems like they have a high chance of winning this time. Song Yunqing's expression was very good. He clapped his hands and laughed with a victorious expression. As long as the 2 of them finished refining their pills, he would have an absolute advantage. Elder Blackheart's eyes flickered. The only thing he was worried about was He Nian. If He Nian refined a fourth-grade pill, there would be a lot of trouble. As for Lin Xian, he had completely ignored him. Duan Fei's expression was arrogant as he continuously slapped the pill furnace to complete the last step. Qianqian, let me win this time, Duan Fei said to Song Qianqian with a smile. As a third-grade pill inscription master, he could tell the difference between the 2 pills just by looking at the pill fragrance. Okay. Song Qianqian nodded. Duan Fei was a disciple of her medicine sovereign courtyard. She was naturally happy that Duan Fei could emerge victorious. Kiki, isn't it a little too early to be complacent? A discordant voice sounded. With me here, don't even think about winning. He Nian sneered. Duan Fei and Song Qianqian's expressions changed slightly. They turned to look at He Nian in the corner. Suddenly, a pill fragrance wafted out from He Nian's pill furnace, transforming into a smoke snake in the air. Pill fragrance condensation. Looking at the smoke serpent, some extremely powerful alchemy grandmasters cried out in alarm. Duan Fei and Song Qianqian's expressions also became extremely ugly. Pill fragrance condensation? What do you mean? The surrounding cultivators were puzzled and looked up at the sky curiously. In the stands, President Meng Chuan's expression was gloomy. He frowned and muttered to himself. Pill fragrance condensation is something only 4th grade and above pills possess. Furthermore, it's a special pill. That Hinyen is able to condense the pill fragrance. It's obvious that the pill he refined isn't of a low grade. Duan Fei and Song Qianshan's pills are nothing in front of Hinyen. Are they really going to lose this time? President Meng Chuan wasn't the only one who was shocked. The people from Medicine Emperor Hall and Pill Emperor Hall also had ugly expressions. Elder Blackheart gripped his walking stick tightly. These damn monsters, they actually have the ability to condense the pill fragrance. It seems like the other party is well prepared. DK sighed. Little friend Lin, we can only rely on you now. When the others learned of the pill fragrance condensation, they were all shocked. A 4th grade pill, and an extremely special one at that. If nothing unexpected happened, the final champion would probably be Hinyen. Duan Fei and Song Qianshan's faces were ashen, as if they had lost their souls. Pill fragrance condensation was a technique only her father, Song Yunqing, knew. Now, it was actually used by a 15-year-old girl. This blow was too great for them. Looking at the pills in the cauldron, the two of them felt like crying but had no tears. Haha, I'll be the champion this time. Hinyen's voice rang out. The crowd was in an uproar. They didn't expect such an ending. Could it be that the Pill Emperor Hall and Medicine Emperor Hall were really going to lose? That might not be the case. A voice that could sever nails and sever iron rang out. Who is it? The expressions of the He clan members changed slightly as they looked at the stone platform in anger. Even Hinyen turned his head to look. Lin Xian, it's Lin Xian! Everyone exclaimed. Just you? You're just a piece of trash who failed in alchemy. Hinyen was extremely disdainful. It's normal to fail in alchemy. If you can't even accept this, what's the point of refining pills? You might as well sell tofu. Lin Xian's face regained its calmness. Clearly, he had already walked out from his previous failure. I'll be the champion this time. Lin Xian's voice was filled with confidence. It was as sharp as a sword, slicing through the sky. Looking at the confident Lin Xian, the disciples of the Pill Emperor Hall all cheered. DK and President Meng Chuan also revealed smiles. It's good that you've recovered. There's still time, there's still hope. Duan Fei and Song Qianshan also stared blankly at Lin Xian. For some reason, the two of them felt as though they were facing a giant. Stop bragging. You haven't even finished half the time. Do you think a 4th grade pill is so easy to refine? Hinyen sneered. Accept the truth, lowly human. Lin Xian ignored Hinyen and stood up abruptly. He put away the clay cauldron. His robe fluttered even though there was no wind. Inscriptions constantly appeared in his eyes. Putting away the cauldron? You want to refine pills with your bare hands again? How naive! Hinyen sneered. The others also stared blankly at Lin Xian, not knowing what he was going to do. Brat, you finally thought it through. Inside the mysterious small sword, Lord Alcohol chuckled and muttered to himself. Lin Xian waved his sleeves, inscribing pill patterns around him, forming a strange pill array. Instantly, the translucent pill array enveloped the stone platform he was on. With a flick of his fingers, the medicinal herbs were quickly separated and then floated above the pill array. The entire process was very fast. It was like moving clouds and flowing water without a single pause. At this moment, Lin Xian had completely let go. He was like the reincarnation of the Pill Emperor, facing everything calmly. This kind of technique, this kind of courage, is definitely rare in the world. President Meng Chuan exclaimed, I really don't know what kind of expert can teach such a disciple. The other alchemists were also stunned. Lin Xian's alchemy technique was too shocking. It completely overturned their understanding. It can actually be refined like this? The 3rd Hall master swallowed his saliva. He actually used spiritual energy to separate the medicinal herbs. Cries of surprise rang out. Everyone stared at Lin Xian. Chapter 352. Even He Nian's expression was solemn and he didn't say a word. The current Lin Xian was like a completely different person from before. Furthermore, using a pill array to refine pills had truly shocked him. Humph. This pill array obviously requires an extremely large amount of soul energy. I don't believe you can withstand it. He Nian gritted his teeth. So what if you can refine it? My pill has already condensed into a pill shape. He Nian had absolute confidence in his pill, not to mention Lin Xian. Even some grade 4 pill inscriptionists couldn't compare to him. Thinking of this, he crazily poured out his soul energy. Wang, wang, wang. The pill furnace in front of He Nian trembled and an even stronger pill fragrance drifted out. Condense. With a low shout, He Nian continuously sent out inscriptions into the pill furnace. Whoosh! A dark green pill trembled as it flew out of the pill furnace and floated in midair. The pill is complete. He Nian laughed loudly as he held the dark green pill in his hand. His face was filled with pride. Above the pill, there was a blurry image of an ink snake. He actually succeeded. Duan Fei and Song Qianqian looked at the arrogant He Nian and felt their limbs turn cold. We completely lost. The two of them were powerless. Both of their pills were grade 3, and they couldn't be compared to He Nian's pill. President Meng Chuan and the others also shook their heads and sighed. In the current situation, no one could beat He Nian, unless Lin Xian could refine a better pill. The disciples of the Pill Emperor Hall were silent as they looked at Lin Xian. On the stone platform, Lin Xian's expression was solemn. His pill had reached a critical moment. Previously, when he was in the late stage of pill formation, he chose to raise the grade, but failed. This time he planned to start fusing the spiritual energy in the middle stage and raise the grade. The pill array revolved and began to absorb the spiritual energy of heaven and earth. Although he was doing his best to refine the pill, he was still aware of what was happening outside. He could sense the grade of He Nian's pill. It was a mid-grade grade 4 pill. But with the pill fragrance, its effect was comparable to a high-grade grade 4 pill. Unless he could refine a high-grade grade 4 pill, there was no chance at all. A superior 4th grade pill. Lin Xian took a deep breath, and the inscriptions in his eyes became even more solid. If it was in the past, he wouldn't even dare to think about it. But now that he had the pill array, he had a chance. He carefully controlled the pill array and slowly raised its level. Lin Xian's face paled as the soul force in his mind rapidly decreased. Within the pill array, a medicinal fragrance wafted out. It was abnormally rich. It appeared. Everyone was excited. Humph, it's still not enough. He Nian sneered in his heart when he sensed the pill fragrance. His pills were comparable to high-grade level 4 pills, while Lin Xian's pills were only close to mid-grade level 4 pills. The pill formation continued to revolve. Lin Xian felt a wave of dizziness. The great dragon sword within his body rumbled and emitted a sharp aura, allowing him to maintain his consciousness. On the mysterious dagger, the image of the giant dragon shone brightly. Lin Xian felt an indescribable power coming from the dagger, nourishing his soul. Pill array, gather spiritual energy, condense. Lin Xian's eyes flashed with madness as he poured all his soul force into the pill array. Buzz! The translucent pill array emitted a bright light, like a huge whirlpool, crazily absorbing the spiritual energy of heaven and earth. And within the pill array was the pill that Lin Xian concocted. This scene was too shocking, causing everyone to cry out in shock. Impossible! How can he have such a strong soul force? He Nian screamed. This soul force had already surpassed hers. One had to know that he, a demon race alchemist, had cultivated his soul force for tens of years. But Lin Xian was only an 18-year-old youth, yet his soul force had already surpassed hers. This was a true monster. Under the shocked gazes of the crowd, all the spiritual energy was absorbed into the pill in the center of the pill array. Bang! In the next instant, a strange medicinal fragrance wafted out from the pill array, and a purple-gold color appeared. The moment this pill appeared, the illusory snake image on the pill concocted by Hinyan was instantly crushed. Hua! Everyone was in an uproar, especially the disciples of Pill Emperor Hall. They were all shouting. This was too shocking. One had to know that Hinyan's pill was extremely rare. This could be seen from the words of the previous alchemists. But Lin Xian's pill actually caused the pill concocted by Hinyan's pill to dissipate. What did this mean? Lin Xian's pill far surpassed Hinyan's. Impossible. My pill is comparable to a superior 4th-grade pill. Unless it's a 5th-grade pill, there's nothing that can make its pill concocted. Hinyan screamed crazily. She was stunned. This scene was completely out of her expectations. On the spectator stands Meng Chuan, DK, and the others laughed heartily. Lin Xian's counterattack at the last moment directly shattered the demon race's dream of becoming the champion, preventing their Heavenly Mountain Empire's champion from falling into the hands of the demon race. He Ming's face darkened, and his eyes were filled with killing intent. This guy, what did he concoct? On the stone platform, Hinyan went crazy. I don't believe it. I don't believe you can concoct a pill that far surpasses mine. With that said, she rushed towards Lin Xian. In the sky, a red phantom rushed towards Lin Xian. Lin Xian had just finished concocting pills, and his soul force was completely depleted. He was somewhat dazed. However, his warrior instincts were still there. Facing Hinyan's attack, he only did one thing. Grabbing the purplish gold pill in front of him, Lin Xian placed it in front of him. The pill emitted a purplish gold light, and a thick sound rang out. Bam! Hinyan was extremely fast, and in the blink of an eye, she arrived in front of Lin Xian. How dare you! DK was enraged. The others also exclaimed, Ha dai! Hinyan slammed her palm down. However, when her hand came into contact with the purple gold light, her expression changed drastically. This is, Hinyan screamed. Her palm was festering, and her human skin had disappeared, revealing red scales. Realgar, it's Realgar! Hinyan screamed and retreated frantically. You actually concocted Realgar-type pills. Damn it! Realgar was the nemesis of snakes. Now that Lin Xian had refined it into a superior 4th-grade pill, its power was even greater. Just a beam of light injured Hinyan. Not good. He Ming's expression changed drastically. He leaped into the air and arrived beside Hinyan. What happened? Why do I see red scales? The warriors below exclaimed. Duan Fei and Song Qianqian were even more shocked. Damn it! He Ming looked at Lin Xian, his eyes filled with murderous intent. Humph! DK snorted coldly, his body emitting a powerful aura. Beside him, President Meng Chuan also said in a deep voice, He Ming, you have already lost. Leave quickly. This matter won't end like this. He Ming gritted his teeth and said. He glared at Lin Xian before leaving with Hinyan. The other He family disciples also left quickly. Clang! 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 The crisp sound of the bell indicated the end of the last round. Chapter 353. The crowd was in an uproar as they stared at the stone platform. Everyone, I believe I don't need to say who the champion of the second round is, right? President Meng Chuan said with a smile. Lin Xian! Lin Xian! The entire square was filled with uniform shouts. Their voices were like the waves of the sea, crashing in all directions. The faces of those from the Medicine Emperor courtyard darkened. Although they were unwilling, they had no choice but to admit that Lin Xian had exceeded their expectations. Too amazing. Sigh, we lost. Song Yunqing sighed as he leaned weakly against the back of his chair. Elder Blackheart, who was standing beside him, gritted his teeth, his eyes filled with unwillingness. Lin Xian, it's Lin Xian again. From the start of the first round, this mysterious youth had been ruining his plans. Now, the Pill Emperor Hall had already won 2 rounds. The champion of the Pill King tournament was about to be theirs. No, we can't let them get the White Dragon Ascension pill. Elder Blackheart's eyes flashed with killing intent. After the competition ended, the participants returned to the stands. Lin Xian and the rest rested, but the surrounding cultivators didn't leave, because the next round was the most exciting one, the Battle of the Titans. This was the 3rd round of the Pill King tournament. At that time, the true Pill King faction would be decided. Who? Lin Xian drank a cup of spirit wine. Under the protection of DK, he recovered most of his soul force. Only then did he heave a sigh of relief. Next is the last round. Lin Xian said slowly, "Senior, what are your thoughts?" "I've thought it through. I'll refine the white flower marrow cleansing pill you gave me." DK smiled. "This is an ancient 4th grade pill. Its value is even higher than a 5th grade pill." "Then I wish you success," Lin Xian said with a smile. "Don't worry, little friend Lin. This old man is still confident." An hour later, President Meng Chuan stood up again. "I believe everyone has rested enough. Next up is the last round, the Battle of the Titans. The rules are the same as the last round of the 2nd stage. Whoever can refine the best grade medicinal pill in the allotted time will be the winner. Let's begin." President Meng Chuan said with a smile. Now that the demon's problem had been resolved, he was relieved. Now, as long as he could successfully complete the last round, this year's Pill King tournament would be considered a success. Let's go, the final battle. Song Yunqing's eyes flashed with a sharp light. His entire body emitted a terrifying aura as he arrived at the stone platform. After him, the other forces also sent out their strongest alchemists. However, compared to Song Yunqing, he was clearly lacking. In the entire Tian Shan kingdom, the only one who could go against Song Yunqing was the old man Deek. In the next instant, the gazes of everyone shifted onto the Pill Emperor Hall. "Should I go?" The 3rd Palace Master was eager to give it a try. Lin Xian's performance in the previous few stages was too stunning, and he was someone invited by the head Palace Master. Right now, over 60% of the people in the Pill Emperor Hall were biased towards the Pill Emperor Hall. This made him extremely unhappy. Originally, he had used some methods to bribe many elders over the years. In addition to the fact that the Pill Emperor Hall was usually ignored by the 1st Palace Master, it allowed him to control the Pill Emperor Hall for a period of time. However, recently he felt that the Pill Emperor Hall was already out of his control. If he could display his strength in the 3rd round, he might be able to rope in some elders. At that time, he would be able to continue contending against the 1st Palace Master. "No need," Deek said in a low voice. "This time I will go personally." Personally, the crowd from the Pill Emperor Hall was in an uproar. How many years has it been since the 1st Palace Master concocted pills in front of others? For such a small matter, let 3rd Palace Master do it. The 2nd Palace Master said from the side, "There's no need to trouble you. This isn't a small matter. We cannot lose this battle." Deek's eyes flashed with a shocking light as a powerful aura gushed out from his body. Under the gazes of the crowd, he slowly stood up. "What?" Everyone was stunned, followed by countless exclamations. Wasn't Deek crippled? How can he stand up again? Heavens, the 1st Palace Master has actually recovered. The Pill Emperor Hall can finally shine again. Elder Jean laughed towards the sky. President Meng Chuan was also shocked. He knew that Deke was afflicted with a strange poison. This poison was something that even a fifth-grade pill inscription master like him couldn't do anything about. But now, Deke had actually recovered. How could he not be shocked? Could it be because of him? President Meng Chuan looked towards Lin Xian. How is this possible? The third palace master's eyes widened as cold sweat dripped down his forehead. When did he recover? The second palace master was also nervous. Old man DK's performance stunned everyone. On the stone platform, Song Yunqing looked down with a serious expression. Ha ha, it feels so good to be able to walk. Deke laughed. From today onwards, he would no longer use a wheelchair. This time he didn't fly. Instead, he walked step by step towards the stone platform. It was no wonder that Deke was so excited. He hadn't walked for dozens of years. This feeling of stepping on solid ground was too amazing. So what if I've recovered? I won't lose to you. Song Yunqing snorted coldly. He had a spirit-grade furnace and the pill formula that Elder Blackheart had given him. Even if he was facing Meng Chuan, he was confident, let alone Deke. With a wave of his sleeve, the Crimson Dawn spiritual stove appeared in midair, emitting a dazzling light. Half the sky was dyed red. This spirit-grade furnace could only unleash its true power in his hands. Ha 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 ha. Dean Song, when I was dominating the Heavenly Mountain Kingdom, you were probably still learning inscriptions. Deke laughed loudly. With a flip of his palm, a black pill furnace appeared in midair. Pill King Furnace. Everyone was shocked as they looked at the black pill furnace in the sky with envious eyes. The Pill King Furnace was the reward of the previous Pill King tournament. It was also a spirit-grade furnace, and its grade was even higher than the Crimson Dawn spiritual stove. With this furnace, Deke was not inferior to Song Yunqing in terms of support. As for the pill formula, he had the ancient pill formula. Looking at the Pill King Furnace, Song Yunqing's face was gloomy. He snorted coldly and began to refine the pill. Deke grinned and began to refine the pill as well. Below, everyone was shocked when they saw the black pill furnace floating in the sky. The elders of the Pill Emperor Hall were shouting crazily. Only a few elders were still standing beside the two hall masters. Everyone else was cheering for old man DK at this moment. Not far away, Elder Blackheart's expression was solemn. Although he had given Dean Song a precious pill formula, Deke wasn't someone to be trifled with. Moreover, his aura today was even more powerful than before, making him extremely confident. In this state, the success rate of refining pills would greatly increase. Spirit Cleansing Detoxification Pill. This is a pill I obtained from a 4-star sect. I hope it can defeat the Pill Emperor Hall. Elder Blackheart prayed in his heart. Chapter 354. On the square, Song Yunqing and DK made their moves one after another, dyeing the entire sky red. Everyone looked up, not wanting to miss any details. Such a level of competition could only be seen at the Alchemy King tournament. Usually, it was very rare to see a 4th-grade alchemist refining pills. The Crimson Dawn spiritual stove was fiery red, like a ball of fire burning in the air. On the other side, the Alchemy King furnace emitted a terrifying aura that suppressed the surroundings. The two of them were grandmasters in the alchemy world. Their alchemy process far surpassed others. Lin Xian raised his head to watch as well, constantly observing and learning. Song Yunqing is actually... The elders beside him were bewildered. Lin Xian tilted his head and saw that Elder Jean and the others had ugly expressions. What's wrong? He asked. Song Yunqing seems to be refining a 5th-grade pill, Elder Jean said. The Medicine Emperor Court is really ambitious. The second palace master said in a deep voice. A 5th-grade pill? Lin Xian was surprised. There weren't many such pills in the Heavenly Mountain Empire. The success rate of refining a fifth-grade pill was very low. Furthermore, fifth-grade alchemists were even rarer. There was only one fifth-grade alchemist in the entire Heavenly Mountain Empire, and that was President Meng Chuan. Even President Meng Chuan had a 50% failure rate when refining a fifth-grade pill. Not to mention a fourth-grade alchemist like Song Yunqing. It seems like the Medicine Emperor Court is really desperate. Otherwise, they wouldn't take such a risk. Indeed, I think Dean Song only has a 20% success rate at most. Everyone guessed, but Elder Blackheart was abnormally calm. Song Yunqing's choice of a fifth-grade pill wasn't a spur-of-the-moment decision. He had prepared it for a long time. In the end, he maintained a success rate of about 40% before daring to use it in the competition. This success rate was already very shocking. It even surpassed many fifth-grade alchemists. On the stone platform, DK clearly sensed Song Yunqing's intentions. He was surprised, but he didn't worry too much. He had the ancient pill formula, so he could definitely win. Time passed bit by bit. None of the competitors on the stone platform failed. This also meant that these alchemists were far from being comparable to those young alchemists. Gradually, a pill fragrance wafted out of the square. Some people even condensed pills. However, DK and Song Yunqing continued refining. Boom! 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 The scarlet cloud spiritual stove let out a rumbling sound, filling the sky with multicolored light, and a thick pill fragrance spread out. Success? Everyone was expectant. This was a fifth-grade medicinal pill. Above the scarlet cloud spiritual stove, a lotus-shaped illusion appeared, and even a blue smoke appeared. It's appeared. The pill fragrance has taken form. Someone cried out in alarm. That's nothing. Didn't you see the green smoke? That's a colored pill fragrance. Only a fifth-grade pill would have that. There was a wave of exclamations below. The pills that Song Yunqing had refined had produced many kinds of strange phenomena, and all the competitors from the four sides were inferior to him. That's great. Daddy has mastered it. Song Qianqian was overjoyed. Success on the first try. The headmaster's strength is too powerful. I'm afraid he's about to break through to the fifth grade. The elders of the Medicine Emperor courtyard were abnormally excited. Even Elder Blackheart's face was full of smiles. Success on the first try had already exceeded his expectations. On the stone platform, Song Yunqing put the pills into a bottle and heaved a sigh of relief. His hands were full of sweat, and the lapels of his robes were also soaked. Just now he had used 120% of his strength and a trace of luck to refine a fifth-grade medicinal pill, the spirit-cleansing poison-dissolving pill. A fifth-grade medicinal pill. Old geezer DK, let's see what you have to compete with me. Song Yunqing turned his head and looked over. What kind of medicinal pill is this? When he saw old man DK's pill furnace, he was stunned. Judging from the aura, it wasn't a fifth-grade medicinal pill, but the pill fragrance was very strange. It was filled with many kinds of fragrances, and when combined, it wasn't inferior to his. The crowd below also noticed this phenomenon, and immediately they started discussing again. What kind of medicinal pill did the first hall master refine? The elders of the Pill Emperor Hall were puzzled. The two hall masters shook their heads in confusion. Recently, DK had been too mysterious. They couldn't find any useful information. President Meng Chuan looked at the sky and revealed a look of astonishment. This old geezer, where did he get such an exquisite pill recipe? Although it's not a fifth-grade medicinal pill, its effect isn't much weaker than a fifth-grade medicinal pill. I originally thought that Song Yunqing would win this time, but now it seems that old geezer DK has a high chance of winning. On the stone platform, Song Yunqing's face sank. Although he was confident in his medicinal pill, the pill fragrance made him more and more flustered. Buzz! The pill emperor furnace trembled, and a red pill fragrance floated out, rolling in the sky. It's here. There's a colored pill fragrance. Everyone became nervous, and they were all looking forward to it. The red pill fragrance changed in the air, forming the shape of a peony. Pill fragrance condensed into form. The corners of Song Yunqing's mouth gradually curled up. If that was the case, then he would definitely win. He had the colored pill fragrance, and he also had the pill shape. Furthermore, the grade of his medicinal pill was much higher than DK's. No matter how one looked at it, he would win. However, just as he was feeling proud, the red pill fragrance changed again. After the peony phantom, another flower shape appeared. 2 flowers! Everyone exclaimed. However, before they could react, another flower appeared in the sky. 3 flower shadows. The cultivators in the square were in an uproar. They had never seen such a spectacle before. They had never even heard of it. Impossible! What kind of medicinal pill is this? It can actually condense 3 flower shadows? Song Yunqing's face was as black as a pot. 3 flower shadows. Could it be an ancient pill recipe? Elder Blackheart's voice was cold. Black qi rolled around his body, bringing with it a cold aura, like an invisible black hole. Lost again. Even if he took out the pill recipe he obtained from a 4-star sect, he still lost. Ancient pill recipe, it's actually an ancient pill recipe. How can the Pill Emperor Hall have such a thing? He couldn't understand. Even a 4-star sect might not necessarily have an ancient pill recipe. President Meng Chuan looked at the 3 flower shadows in a daze. Old geezer DK not only cured his leg poison, he even has an ancient pill recipe. Could it be that he found an ancient ruin? No, he has been in the Pill Emperor Valley all these years. Could it be Lin Xian? President Meng Chuan was shocked by this thought. Hee Dean Song, do you still want to compete? Old geezer DK said with a smile. Right now he was even more grateful for Lin Xian's kindness. If it wasn't for Lin Xian's pill recipe, he might not have been able to win the competition. Little friend Lin is indeed my benefactor. You've won, Song Yunqing said with great difficulty. It wasn't that he didn't want to fight back, but the 3 flower shadows were too mysterious. If he continued to quibble, he would become a joke. It didn't matter if he lost the competition, but if he lost face, he wouldn't be able to face anyone in the future. Humph! Song Yunqing's face turned black. He flung his sleeves and walked towards the stage. The crowd below burst into thunderous cheers. President Meng Chuan also stood up with a smile. Chapter 355. The result of the 3rd round is the Pill Emperor Hall's victory. The Pill Emperor Hall has won all 3 rounds and is the champion of this year's competition, President Meng Chuan announced. The crowd below cheered. The disciples of the Pill Emperor Hall even raised their arms and cheered. Waves after waves of cheers rose in the square, pushing the atmosphere to the peak. The disciples of the Medicine Emperor Hall were all disappointed. They had failed once again. They had lost all 3 rounds. Such a situation had never happened before. Elder Blackheart's face sank. His eyes were filled with killing intent. He had spent a great deal of effort to support the Medicine Emperor Hall. He thought that he would be able to win easily. He didn't expect such a result. On the other side, the Inscription Alliance started to give out the rewards. Other than the title of Pill Emperor, there was also an ancient 5th-grade pill, the White Dragon Soaring Heaven pill. Lin Xian's expression was filled with excitement. After working so hard for so many days, he had finally won this crucial pill. DK smiled as he received the pill bottle from President Meng Chuan. He then prepared to leave. Hold on. Suddenly, a voice rang out like thunder. Everyone was stunned. They all turned their heads. Those from the Pill Emperor Hall were also puzzled. DK's face sank. From the tone of his voice, it seemed that he didn't come with good intentions. Elder Blackheart slowly stood up and said to DK in a low voice, "Grand Hall Master, I wonder if we can make a deal." A deal? Everyone was puzzled, but Song Yunqing frowned. He naturally knew what kind of deal Elder Blackheart wanted to make. This was also something he had promised Elder Blackheart. DK asked in a low voice, "What kind of deal?" "I want to exchange the White Dragon Soaring Heaven Pill with you. Whatever you want, just say it. I won't bargain," Elder Blackheart hurriedly said. Although this pill is a 5th-grade pill, its effects are somewhat obscure. I don't think the Grand Hall Master will have any use for it. Why don't we make a deal? What do you want? Other 5th-grade pills, spirit-grade treasures, high-grade martial arts, high-grade pill recipes. As long as you say it, I can do it all, the surrounding cultivators exclaimed. Elder Blackheart's offer was incomparably tempting. It was definitely not inferior to the White Dragon Soaring Heaven Pill. The elders of the Pill Emperor Hall were also agitated. They indeed had no use for the White Dragon Soaring Heaven Pill. If they could exchange it for some top-grade pill recipes, that would be the best. However, DK shook his head firmly. "There's no need. I won't exchange this pill." Whoosh! The surroundings were in an uproar. There was actually someone who could refuse those treasures. Elder Blackheart frowned. Could it be that the first Hall Master is still not satisfied with these? Why don't we do this? No need. I won't trade with you no matter what price you offer. Goodbye. With that, DK returned to Lin Xian and the others and left the Wind Moon Plaza together. All that was left behind was a group of shocked people and the black-hearted elder whose face had turned black. Pill Emperor Hall. Lin Xian returned to his room and closed the doors and windows. With a flip of his hand, he took out a white jade bottle. He opened the bottle cap and poured out a pill the size of a longan fruit. It was sparkling and translucent like white jade. The White Dragon Ascension pill is finally in my hands. Lin Xian was overjoyed. The first step has been completed. The next step is to search for True Dragon Aura, Lord Alcohol said. True Dragon Qi? Lin Xian put away the pill bottle and muttered, "What does it mean?" Earth Dragon Vein. Lord Alcohol said slowly, "Beneath the earth, there are places that form dragon veins that contain mysterious power, and the gas that overflows from them is True Dragon Qi. Earth Dragon Vein." Lin Xian stroked his chin. He had heard of such things before. They were extremely important and related to the fate of a region. How do I find them? Any place that is extremely powerful will usually have dragon veins. Try your best to go to these places, Lord Alcohol said. Powerful places were usually sects and countries. Sects usually wouldn't allow outsiders to enter, so he could only go to a powerful country. Lin Xian had a target. However, this country had to be stronger than Tianshan country because Lord Alcohol couldn't sense the aura of the dragon vein in Tianshan country. It's time to leave. Lin Xian took a deep breath and began to meditate. Medicine Emperor Court, Main Hall. Reporting to the Dean, we have already investigated. DK gave the pill to Lin Xian. Lin Xian. Song Yunqing was slightly surprised. Beside him, Elder Blackheart frowned. Are you sure? Song Yunqing looked at the elder and asked. I'm sure. Furthermore, this matter seems to have been decided at the beginning of the Alchemy King tournament. Back then, the other 2 hall masters strongly objected, but DK insisted. All right, you may leave. Song Yunqing waved his hand and looked at Elder Blackheart. It's not appropriate for our Medicine Emperor Court to take action. Don't worry. There's no need for you to take action. I have my ways. Elder Blackheart smiled sinisterly. Since the item is in Lin Xian's hands, it's easy. Although he was afraid of DK, he was confident that he could kill Lin Xian if his opponent was him. The White Dragon Ascension pill will definitely be mine. The next day, Lin Xian found Quebec. I wonder if there's a country stronger than Tian Shan country. Lin Xian asked. Oh, little friend Lin, are you leaving? DK was surprised. Seeing Lin Xian nod, he sighed. I knew it. A place like Tian Shan country won't be able to keep you. After saying that, he sighed heavily. In the Tianan region, countries are divided into small countries, large countries, and strong countries. Tian Shan country is a large country, but its standard is in the middle. There are many countries stronger than Tian Shan country. Above that, there are strong countries, large countries, strong countries. Lin Xian had a deeper understanding of this world. I have a map of the Tianan region. It's very detailed. I'll give it to you now. Lin Xian took the scroll and quickly opened it. His pupils constricted, revealing a look of surprise. The Tianan region was bigger than he had imagined. Tian Shan country was only half the size of Palm. Xia country was even smaller. It was located in a remote area in the southwest. If one was not careful, they would not be able to find it. This was only the Tianan region. There were other regions outside of this. At least, Lin Xian knew about the Tianwu region. It seems that this world is more interesting than I imagined. Collecting his thoughts, Lin Xian began to carefully look at the map. I wonder which place has the strongest dragon vein. Dragon vein? You want to find a dragon vein? Old man DK was surprised. Yes. Lin Xian nodded. Even if the matter of finding a dragon vein was exposed, no one would know that he was looking for the great dragon sword. Moreover, old man DK was very knowledgeable. He might know something. If you want to talk about the largest dragon vein, it should be the ancient dragon, sacred ground. It contains a mysterious, true dragon chi. True dragon chi. Lin Xian was happy. This was what he was looking for. Where is the ancient dragon, sacred ground? Lin Xian looked at the map. You don't know. Old man DK explained. The ancient dragon sacred ground is the location of the sacred true dragon gathering. It is very famous in the entire Tianan region. Sacred true dragon gathering? Lin Xian really did not know. The sacred true dragon gathering is held once every 10 years. It is a grand event in the Tianan region. All the geniuses in the Tianan region will participate. Anyone who is on the True Dragon ranking can receive the baptism of True Dragon Chi. Chapter 356. The True Dragon ranking was a very famous ranking in the Tianan region. Its ranking was based on the rankings of the True Dragon gathering. It could be said that entering the True Dragon ranking was the wish of every warrior, because it not only represented strength, but also honor. One had to know that there were many warriors in the Tianan region, and there were also many geniuses, but only 72 of them could enter the ranking. Those who entered the True Dragon ranking were all geniuses among geniuses. What are the restrictions for entering the True Dragon gathering? Lin Xian asked. The most basic restriction is that you can't be over 40 years old and your cultivation must be above the harmonious spirit realm. Old man DK said, but even if you meet these two conditions, you might not be able to participate. The number of participants is fixed, a total of 720 people. This number is not enough in the entire Tianan region. Take the Heavenly Mountain country, for example. There are only 3 spots, and the competition is very intense. Lin Xian took a deep breath. It seems like this true dragon gathering was stricter than he imagined. The great Heavenly Mountain country only had 3 spots. One had to know that in the Heavenly Mountain country there were no less than 10 3-star sects, and there were countless geniuses within. Other than that, there were also the royal family and some super families. With so many people fighting for 3 spots, one could imagine how intense it would be. Does that mean I don't even have the chance to register? Lin Xian frowned. Little friend Lin, don't worry, there is still a year before the True Dragon gathering begins. I think this time is enough for you to break through. As for the spots, I can recommend you, but whether or not you can seize the opportunity will depend on you. Old man, DK said slowly. Really? Lin Xian's eyes flashed. As long as there was a chance, he would not give up. I have two choices. One is to compete for the spots in the Heavenly Mountain Country. Although there are only 3 spots, it is not impossible to try. But the only drawback is that you have enmity with many sects, and they might try to kill you. Lin Xian nodded. He had offended many powers in the Heavenly Mountain Country. Although he usually had nothing to do, if it was a crucial spot like the True Dragon Gathering, it was hard to guarantee that those old things would not kill him. For safety reasons, he couldn't stay in Tianshan Kingdom. Seeing Lin Xian shake his head, DK continued, I'll write a letter. Take it to the Dragon Star Kingdom and find someone called Jiang Sanfeng. If he's still alive, he might be able to help you. Jiang Sanfeng? Dragon Star Empire? Lin Xian felt a headache coming on. This was too general. Can you be more specific? He asked. DK shook his head. To be honest, I don't know the details. But with his reputation, it shouldn't be hard for you to find him. Dragon Star Empire's quota is much higher than Heavenly Mountain Empire's, but the level of warriors there is also much higher than Heavenly Mountain Empire's. You have to be mentally prepared for this. Lin Xian pondered for a moment and finally decided to go to the Dragon Star Kingdom to take a look. This is the letter, and this is the token. DK handed them to Lin Xian. 1 year. Lin Xian clenched his fists. As long as he could obtain the true dragon chi, he would be able to find the great dragon sword. I plan to leave now, Lin Xian stated. Sure, but just in case, I can escort you in the Heavenly Mountain Empire. Now that the Pill Emperor Hall is so busy, they definitely can't do without you. I think it's better for me to leave by myself. Lin Xian smiled. How about this? I will send an expert to protect you in the dark, but he can only escort you to the borders of the Heavenly Mountain Empire. Okay. Lin Xian nodded. He wasn't a hypocritical person, and he had a premonition that Elder Blackheart wouldn't give up so easily. That afternoon, Lin Xian departed from the Pill Emperor Hall. He didn't alert many people, and an entire Pill Emperor Hall. Only DK knew of his departure. But after he left, a black shadow transformed into a black mist and sped towards the Medicine Emperor Hall. Elder Blackheart, that brat has left. A cultivator clad in black spoke. With whom? Elder Blackheart asked. Alone. Humph. Seems like he wants to leave the Heavenly Mountain Empire. Elder Blackheart coldly laughed. I got it, you can leave now. After that person left, Elder Blackheart transformed into a wisp of black smoke and quickly left the Wind Moon City. In the wilderness, a huge golden frog jumped. On top of it sat a handsome young man in blue and a snow-white monkey. This young man was Lin Xian. He had already left the Wind Moon City and was heading towards the Dragon Star Empire. Along the way, he didn't stay idle, but continued to cultivate. During the Pill King competition, he didn't fall behind in his cultivation. Now that the majority of the vortex in his body had formed, he would soon break through to the harmonious spirit realm. Only those who reached the harmonious spirit realm would have the qualifications to participate in the sacred True Dragon Gathering. At night, the silver moon hung high in the sky, sprinkling down its clear light. With his outstanding eye technique, Lin Xian was always able to avoid danger in advance. During this period, he avoided a few 6th rank demonic beasts. Whoosh! Whoosh! Suddenly, a few strange birds flew down from the sky. They were about 2 meters long, and their feathers were like metal, emitting a cold aura. Their sharp claws were like iron pincers, tearing the air apart. This kind of power was hard to resist for warriors below the harmonious spirit realm. However, Lin Xian still didn't open his eyes. Croak! Croak! The golden frog croaked twice and suddenly opened its mouth. Its scarlet tongue was like a long whip, leaving behind after-images in the air. Buzz! In the blink of an eye, it tied up a strange bird and quickly pulled it back. Gulp! His tongue was extremely corrosive and melted the metal like feathers. The strange bird flapped its wings and tried to resist, but it didn't have any effect. In the end, it was eaten by the golden frog. This scene scared away the remaining strange birds in the sky. Woogie! Woogie! The snow-white monkey patted Little Gold and nodded slightly. Croak! Little Gold croaked twice proudly and sped up again. This kind of interlude happened frequently on the road, so Lin Xian didn't have to do anything. The night passed peacefully. When the sun rose, Lin Xian's body was covered in a layer of light, quickly absorbing the thin purple qi in the air. When the sun had completely risen, he opened his eyes. There's a city in front? Just in time to replenish my supplies. Lin Xian patted Little Gold, and the latter ran towards the city. When he was in the Wind Moon City, he left in a hurry and didn't prepare much. The city in front of him solved his problem. When he was close to the city, he put away Little Gold and walked in with the snow-white monkey. This time he mainly bought some herbs, food, water, clothes, and other things. Because he was going to cross the border, he bought a lot this time. After Lin Xian left, 2 black-robed men appeared in a corner and whispered to each other. Little white monkey, blue-robe young man, confirm the target, quickly report. I'll keep an eye on him. The 2 men split up. These 2 men's movements were very secretive, and they used a special method to avoid soul detection. In addition, Lin Xian didn't deliberately search, so he didn't notice this situation. Under the tables and chairs on both sides of the street, a pair of even more secretive, dark green eyes were fiercely staring at Lin Xian. Chapter 357. Lin Xian quickly finished his shopping and walked towards the city gate. Oh no, that kid is leaving. The black-robed man in the dark was anxious. He carefully concealed his aura and followed Lin Xian. This is the person the elder told us to follow. We can't lose him. The black-robed man was very dedicated. He knew that Lin Xian was a big fish and was very important to them. However, he didn't dare to act rashly. If he alerted the enemy and scared Lin Xian away, he would die even if he had 10 lives. The only thing he could do was to keep track of Lin Xian's position at all times. Soon, Lin Xian left the city. He patted his storage bag, and the sound of a small golden mountain appeared. Gua Little Gold intimately rubbed against Lin Xian with a look of anticipation. Okay, here you go. Lin Xian smiled as he took out some demon crystals and threw them into Little Gold's mouth. These demon crystals were all killed by him on the way and were now used to feed Little Gold. Woogie the snow-white monkey had a look of disdain and disappeared with a whoosh. When it reappeared, it was holding an exquisite wine pot. Its furry paws hugged the wine pot, and the little monkey took a sip like a human. Woogie, the snow-white monkey, had an intoxicated look on its face. Lin Xian was stunned. When did this monkey learn to drink? No wonder my spiritual wine has been decreasing so quickly. It was all drunk by this monkey. Lin Xian grabbed its ear and said hatefully, "Don't drink any more." The snow-white monkey trembled and burped. It nodded with misty eyes. F***CK. Lin Xian threw it onto Little Gold's back and quickly moved forward. Bang! With a leap, Little Gold's body disappeared. Behind, the black-robed man was stunned and quickly chased after it. However, he had already used his fastest speed and still couldn't catch up. He could only watch as the golden figure went further and further away. Damn it, what kind of frog is this? How can it run so fast? The black-robed man cursed angrily. If he lost it, he would be dead. No, I have to make a move. A ruthless look appeared in the black-robed man's eyes. His body turned into black smoke as he quickly charged forward. Someone's here. As soon as the black-robed martial artist attacked, Lin Xian sensed it. He smirked and patted Xiao Jin. He suddenly sped up. His body turned into a golden light, and he quickly headed into the depths of the forest. "Little bastard, you actually dared to increase your speed." The black-robed man gnashed his teeth and crazily circulated his spirit energy. Black light flashed as he gave chase with all his might. "That's not right. Did he find out?" The black-robed man looked surprised. Although he had increased his speed earlier in order to maintain his concealment, he still used a certain method. "Since I've been discovered, there's nothing to worry about." The black-robed man sneered and began to mobilize the surrounding spirit chi. Trap! Black clouds floated in front of him, forming a pitch-black cage that pressed down on Lin Xian. The black-robed man was an early harmonious spirit realm cultivator. Now that he had activated his spirit energy, the power of his attacks had increased by several folds. Boom! 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 The black spirit chi light pillar was like a divine spear piercing through the ground. For black pillars blocked Lin Xian's path. That terrifying aura caused the surrounding trees and rocks to explode. Whoosh! The black-robed man appeared in front of Lin Xian. "Run! Why don't you run? Damn it, I've decided. After you die, this frog will be mine." Greed flashed through the black-robed man's eyes. "Is that so? Since you want it, then come and get it." Lin Xian sat on Xiao Jin's back and said with a smile. Suddenly, Lin Xian's figure gradually faded and disappeared like smoke. "Not good." The black-robed man was shocked. He quickly turned his head. However, he was only halfway through this action when his head flew into the air. Plop! Blood splattered everywhere as the headless corpse fell down. Lin Xian put away the remaining half of the Autumn Scar sword and continued on his way. Just now, he used the Black Cloak's doppelganger martial technique to create a doppelganger on Xiao Jin's back. However, his real body sneaked up behind the black-robed man. Lin Xian killed the man with ease, relying on his powerful attack power. With the Black Cloak, Lin Xian's attacks became even more unpredictable. He could often kill his enemies without them noticing. Taking off the black-robed man's storage ring, he reached into it with his sole power. What a poor bastard! Lin Xian looked down on him for a while before reluctantly putting it away. "I'm afraid there is more than one person. I should leave first." He was not afraid of others, but the Black Heart Elder was a powerful warrior of the spirit transformation realm. Killing him would be child's play for him. Therefore, it was better for him to run for his life. Not long after Lin Xian left, two figures quickly landed. One of them was the Black Heart Elder, and the other was the black-robed warrior who ran to report. Right now, he was looking at the corpse on the ground, his body slightly trembling. This was his companion, who was at the same level as him. Judging from the surrounding situation, his companion was killed by a single sword strike. Cold sweat dripped down his face as he thought of a young man with such terrifying combat strength. The blood is still warm. He should have just left. Quickly chase after him. The Black Heart Elder's body emitted a dazzling light as he flew out like a meteor. The black-robed man did not dare to say anything and could only follow behind with all his might. Deep in the mountains, Lin Xian was surrounded by countless poisonous snakes. Dozens of huge, snake-like, demonic beasts flicked their red tongues as they stared coldly at Lin Xian. Damn it, could it be the demonic beasts? Lin Xian's expression slightly changed as he thought of Hien and the others not long ago. If it was the demonic beasts, then it would be really troublesome. Lin Xian had never fought with the demonic beasts before, but just thinking about it made him feel scared. Fortunately, these poisonous snakes in front of him were all demonic beasts, so he could still handle them. Most of these demonic beasts were at the 5th grade, and one of them was at the 6th grade, which was equivalent to a mid-harmonious spirit realm human. He could still handle them, but if they were a little stronger, he would have to risk his life. The surrounding 5th grade demonic beasts were all left to Xiao Jin and the snow-white little monkey. Lin Xian focused on facing the 6th grade demonic beast. Gua Wuji Xiao. Jin opened its big mouth, and its tongue turned into a long whip as it fought with the 2 demonic beasts. The snow-white little monkey held the cold star dagger in one hand and a white spiderweb in the other, shuttling back and forth in the air. Hiss, hiss! The piebald python in front of Lin Xian shot out a terrifying light from its eyes like lightning. Wind Slayer! The broken autumn scar was unsheathed, bringing with it a fine sword chi. The surrounding air seemed to be cut apart, creating a vacuum. This sword slashed towards the piebald python's head. Hiss, hiss! The piebald python's eyes instantly turned red. Its house-sized head struck out horizontally, and its tail quickly fell down. The green sword chi was broken by the piebald python's tail, bringing with it countless gusts of wind. A black shadow flashed, and its thick tail rushed towards Lin Xian. Stepping out with the dragon rebel step, Lin Xian was like a willow catkin, lightly fluttering with the wind. He elegantly dodged the terrifying attack. He pointed his sword downwards, drawing an arc in the air. Moon break! On the sword edge, the green sword chi joined together, forming a crescent-shaped sword chi that rushed towards the ground. As if the green moon had reappeared, the air rumbled. The green light flashed, and the piebald python's abdomen was torn apart, letting out a miserable cry. Chapter 358. The moon-shattering sword chi was like a blue moon as it sliced open the python's abdomen. The python suffered a heavy blow and let out a miserable roar. It opened its bloody mouth and frantically devoured the surrounding spirit chi. A fist-sized energy ball was formed and quickly grew in size. At this moment, another sound of something breaking through the air came from behind. One of the auras was abnormally strong. Just a trace of pressure made the python tremble. The python let out an uneasy roar. It decisively gave up on attacking Lin Xian and fled into the depths of the forest. The surrounding demonic beasts also dispersed, leaving behind a ground full of corpses. Just as these demonic beasts fled, the figures behind arrived. Hand over the white dragon ascension pill, and I'll leave your corpse intact. A sinister voice sounded, accompanied by a huge black cane that smashed down like a mountain. Lin Xian's pupils shrank. He quickly put away his 2 pets and dashed out in a hurry. Want to leave? Do you think you can escape? Elder Blackheart sneered. Under his control, the entire area was shrouded in black fog. The black fog rolled and formed a terrifying attack that pressed down on Lin Xian. That energy was like a solid cage that made it difficult for one to break free. Lin Xian didn't dare to be careless and decisively used the Wind Emperor's sword. The green light flashed like a gale, tearing through the sky. A small crack was cut open in the black fog. You're courting death. Elder Blackheart was furious. He didn't expect Lin Xian to be able to cut open his black fog attack. The black-robed man behind also trembled in fear. Even he couldn't break open the black fog just now, but Lin Xian cut it open with a single sword. This kid is really strange. Elder Blackheart flipped his palm and instantly patched the gap. As a spirit transformation realm martial artist, it was easy for him to deal with Lin Xian. I only used 30% of my strength just now. In my black fog, you'll never be able to leave. Elder Blackheart sneered. Hand over the white dragon ascension pill, and I'll consider letting you go. Lin Xian took a deep breath. He did not believe Elder Blackheart's nonsense. Moreover, he would rather die than hand over the white dragon ascension pill. He swung his green sword again and hacked at the black fog on his left. This time, it was as if the sharp sword light had sunk into the sea, not producing the slightest effect. On the contrary, Elder Blackheart's every move made him feel immense pressure. Is this the power of the spirit transformation realm? Lin Xian felt powerless. He could still fight against a harmonious spirit realm warrior, but he was as weak as a child when facing a spirit transformation realm warrior. Didn't you say that there were experts secretly protecting you? Lin Xian asked anxiously. You wouldn't have forgotten about me, right? He didn't dare to put his life in the hands of an unknown person, so he decided to make a move. Right now, the only thing that could break through the black fog was probably the Gale Lightning Sword. Humph, stubborn. Elder Blackheart's face darkened when he saw that Lin Xian had no intention of responding to him. If you don't want to talk, then I'll do it myself. The black fog rolled, and countless black chains flew out from it, flying toward Lin Xian. Just as Lin Xian was about to be pierced through, the black fog above him was suddenly torn apart, and a fiery red light flew in like the sun. A huge fireball fell from the sky, burning all the black fog in an instant. Who is it? Come out. Elder Blackheart stomped his feet in anger. At this critical moment, someone dared to interrupt his good deed. Little kid, hurry up and leave. A loud voice sounded in the sky. Lin Xian raised his head and saw a blurry fiery red figure in the clouds, emitting a terrifying aura. He knew that the mysterious expert that DK had mentioned had arrived. Without hesitation, Lin Xian summoned Xiao Jin and quickly left the place. How dare you! Elder Blackheart's sleeves fluttered, and the black fog around him turned into countless ferocious ghosts, pouncing toward Lin Xian. In front of him, 100-meter tall black giant appeared, its huge palm covering everything below. Humph! In the sky, the fiery red voice snorted coldly. Countless crimson sabers appeared, carrying scorching flames as they slashed apart the thousands of ferocious ghosts. Lin Xian felt the spiritual energy behind him go berserk. An energy surged like a tsunami. He was alarmed. He couldn't resist such power at all. All he could do was control Xiao Jin with all his might and raise his speed to the limit. In the following days, Elder Blackheart didn't appear again. However, he was attacked by some demon beasts. Fortunately, the Scarlet Black Demon had yet to appear. During this period of time, apart from raising his cultivation level, Lin Xian had been comprehending sword intent. He had completely grasped the essence of the Wind Thearka sword, but he wasn't satisfied. He wanted to comprehend the concept of wind. This idea was approved by Lord Alcohol. Furthermore, he had the Great Dragon Sword Seal, which was an offensive sacred art. It was also helpful for comprehending concepts. Apart from the concept of wind, Lin Xian also wanted to comprehend the concept of lightning. He had been in contact with these two powers since the beginning, so he was very familiar with them. However, concepts were similar to sword intent. They were somewhat ethereal and illusory, so he had to rely on himself. Along the way, Lin Xian spent his time comprehending. Sometimes he would also use some demon beasts to practice his sword. He specially chose demon beasts with wind and lightning attributes to fight, such as the thunder tiger in front of him. It was 7 to 8 meters long, and its body was covered with blue lightning patterns. On its back, there was a pair of 3-meter-long lightning wings. As it trembled, countless tiny electric arcs streaked across the air. Lin Xian held the broken sword in his hand. The blade was covered with silver lightning patterns. That power made the thunder tiger feel pressured. Roar! As the king of all beasts, the thunder tiger couldn't allow such a threat to exist. With a tiger pounce, the thunder tiger pounced at Lin Xian with a sky full of lightning. In midair, it waved its huge claws, forming several blue electric arcs that contained the powerful power of lightning. Lin Xian didn't counterattack. Instead, he used the dragon counterstep and shuttled through the lightning. He wanted to feel different lightning attacks to comprehend the concept of thunder. The thunder tiger was furious. As an intelligent demon beast, it felt that Lin Xian was toying with it. With a low roar, the blue lightning patterns on its body emitted a dazzling light. The lightning gathered in the air, forming a terrifying lightning storm. The area within 100 meters was covered by a terrifying sea of lightning. The surrounding trees and the ground were all destroyed by the lightning. Lin Xian retreated from his comprehension. Even with the dragon counterstep, he couldn't dodge all of the lightning at such a density. He waved the broken sword in his hand, and silver lightning flew out. It was especially eye-catching in the blue sea of lightning. Crack! The two types of lightning clashed, forming a terrifying energy storm. The blue sea of lightning was cut open, creating a vacuum. The thunder tiger panicked. As an intelligent demon beast, it could feel the sharpness of that sword. It didn't dare to stay any longer. It turned into a blue lightning bolt and fled. Lightning, one of the most violent powers. Lin Xian had a new comprehension. He sat on the ground and began to comprehend. 2 days later, Lin Xian got up and continued on his way. Soon he arrived at the border of the Heavenly Mountain Kingdom. Chapter 359. Unlike the last time he left Tianshan country, there was no eerie Xian Yin River here. On the contrary, there was a city in front of him, and behind the city were countless mountains. As long as I pass through the mountains, I will reach Dragon Star Strong Country. Lin Xian kept the map and walked towards the city. Recruiting! Recruiting! The moment he entered the city, there were shouts everywhere. Lin Xian was curious. He realized that there were merchant groups recruiting people. Is there a lack of martial artists here? Lin Xian was puzzled. Warrior, are you interested in being a guard? A 16 or 17-year-old youth pulled a burly man in front of him and asked with a smile, Our Situ Guild needs experts like you the most. Brother, come to me. A young man with small eyes quickly said, Dragon Gate Guild, top 3 in the industry. We're strong and the price is high. Soon, the burly man was pulled away by the Dragon Gate Guild. Sai, the Situ family, is in trouble this time. They didn't even recruit a single martial artist. Yeah, without a powerful martial artist, there is no way to pass through the forest, let alone reach Dragon Star Strong Country. Oh right, don't go out alone. I heard that the Doffing Mountain Range is full of demonic beasts recently. It's better not to go in. I was wondering why these guilds were recruiting like crazy recently. It seems like there is a beast invasion again. Lin Xian listened at the side and understood a little. Demonic beasts? Beast invasion? He frowned slightly. This was not good news for him. Why don't we join a guild? We can look out for each other. Lin Xian looked ahead. He walked over slowly and looked around curiously. However, when those people realized that they could not see through Lin Xian's cultivation, they lost interest. It couldn't be helped. Lin Xian looked young and thin, and his cultivation was unknown. He didn't look like an expert at all. No one stepped forward. Instead, it was the other martial artists that were fought over. Lin Xian smiled bitterly. He was wondering if he should show off some of his strength. At this moment, the weak young man walked over. Brother, are you interested in being a guard? Sure, what do guards do? Lin Xian asked with a smile. Ah, joy appeared on the young man's face. He quickly said, This time we're going to the Dragon Star Kingdom. We need bodyguards on the way to protect our safety. Brother, don't worry. We will definitely pay you well. As long as our goods are sold, we will definitely give you money. Lin Xian understood. It seemed like this Situ Guild had no manpower and no money, so they were living a miserable life. Haha, that brat Situ Jing is really crazy. He actually started to randomly recruit people. That's right. Look at that person's body. He's so weak. I'm afraid a gust of wind could blow him away. I say, Situ Jing, why don't you sell your things to us? You can't go anyway. Yeah, since we're in the same trade, why don't you give us a 10% discount? The people from the other guilds began to mock and ridicule him, while the young man called Situ Jing's face turned red. Your name is Situ Jing? Lin Xian asked. No matter how he heard it, it sounded like a girl's name. Yes. Situ Jing nodded like a chick pecking rice. All right, I promise you. Lin Xian smiled and patted the young man's shoulder. Ah, really? Situ Jing suddenly raised his head. His eyes were filled with excitement. Brother, follow me. I'll bring you to see our guild. After saying that, he pulled Lin Xian and left. Damn, that brat's brain is damaged. He actually dared to agree? He's just trying to be brave. When he knows about the Sidhu family's predicament, he will definitely run away. Who cares? Such a person, even if he enters the Dafeng mountain range, will only become food for the monsters. The group of people sneered and shook their heads with disdain. Lin Xian followed Situ Jing to a shop. Situ Jing excitedly ran in while Lin Xian looked around. The so-called guild was actually an organization that transported goods between two countries. Because it was a border city, the entire street was filled with guild organizations. However, the Situ family shop was obviously much more dilapidated. Brother Lin Xian, come in. Situ Jing anxiously pulled Lin Xian in. It was dim inside, and some of the furniture was old. At the table in front, there was a middle-aged man with a pale face who was constantly coughing. Father, this is Lin Xian, Brother Lin. The middle-aged man raised his head and carefully looked at Lin Xian. Then he revealed a disappointed expression. Little brother, Jing, is insensible. Sorry for the trouble. The middle-aged man panted. Little brother, please go back. Why? I can't be a guard? Lin Xian asked. To be honest, the Dafeng mountain range is very dangerous during this period. If it wasn't for the agreed date with the Longxing Kingdom, we wouldn't have risked our lives to go in. You really don't have to go in and throw your life away. Since it's dangerous, why not change the date? Lin Xian was puzzled. In our line of work, reputation is the most important thing. Once the date is set, it's impossible to change it. Besides, this is a high-risk business. It doesn't matter if we go sooner or later. The middle-aged man said with difficulty and coughed violently. Boss, I was planning to go to the Longxing Kingdom. Why don't we go together? Lin Xian decided to stay. As for my strength, he smiled faintly. It's not a problem to deal with an ordinary harmonious spirit, realm warrior. After saying that, he released a trace of sword intent. The whole room was filled with a sharp aura. Feeling this aura, the middle-aged man and Situ Jing trembled slightly. Great! There's hope for our Situ family. The middle-aged man was so excited that tears rolled down his cheeks. Situ Jing was also so excited that her face turned red. How about this? I'll accompany you and see if you can recruit other warriors. Lin Xian said. Then he and Situ Jing went on the street again to recruit warriors. That brat is back? I told you he won't stay in the Situ family. Wait, why is Situ Jing following him? The group was stunned for a moment, then they sneered. What an idiot. Lin Xian didn't care about these people. Instead, he carefully observed the passers-by. To be safe, he needed a helper. Brat, are you recruiting warriors here? A burly man came forward. Sorry, we don't recruit trash. Lin Xian shook his head. The man was only at the 7th sky of Spirit Sea Realm. It was not enough. Mother ***, you're courting death. How dare you call me trash? The burly man was furious. He raised his fist and was about to throw a punch. Situ Jing was so scared that she hid behind Lin Xian. The surrounding warriors were watching the show. He won't die in one punch, right? It's possible. Who asked him to be so weak? Just as the fist was about to hit Lin Xian, a big hand suddenly reached out from behind the burly man and threw him away. Bang! The burly man was thrown a dozen meters away and fell to the ground. Are you guys okay? A steady and strong voice sounded. Lin Xian raised his head and saw a young man who was almost 2 meters tall standing in front of him with a silly smile on his face. I am fine, Situ Jing said with lingering fear. Lin Xian smiled. Thank you for your help. He looked at the burly young man in front of him. With his outstanding soul power, he could feel that the young man had great power. Even he felt a trace of danger. Someone who could make him feel this way was definitely not ordinary. Are you interested in being a guard? Lin Xian asked with a smile. Chapter 360. Seeing Lin Xian's question, the surrounding martial artists could no longer sit still. This muscular young man was obviously an expert. Coupled with his silly smile, they could definitely hire him at the lowest price. How could they give up such a good opportunity? Brother, don't go to them. They are poor and can't afford it. The small-eyed man laughed. Come to our Dragon Gate Guild. We are the third-ranked guild. Our price will definitely be a few times higher than others. There's also us, Tritalent Guild. There are many experts in our guild. It's definitely safe. The group of people were extremely enthusiastic. Lin Xian was sick and tired of listening to them. He wanted nothing more than to slap them away. Situ Jing looked on nervously. She couldn't compete with the others. However, the honest-looking young man ignored them. He smiled and asked Lin Xian, I can be a guard, but can I eat my fill? Lin Xian looked at Situ Jing with a questioning gaze. Yes, definitely. Don't worry, you can eat your fill, Situ Jing quickly said. All right, I'll sign up, the muscular young man said in a silly voice. What? The surrounding people were stunned. Our food is even better. We have all kinds of delicacies. You should consider it. Amidst the cheers of the crowd, the muscular young man followed Lin Xian and Situ Jing away. *CK, another idiot. Sigh, what a pity. Such a good bodyguard. The group of people sighed. The Situ clan is really lucky. This is Lin Xian, Big Brother Lin. Big Brother, how should I address you? Situ Jing asked. Dongfang Xiong, the young man smiled. Looking at him, if he wore a beast skin coat, he would be no different from a bear. The three of them walked to the shop and started to pack up, preparing to enter the mountain. 5 days later, the group set off. Their luggage was simple. Most of their things were placed in their storage rings. However, because the middle-aged man, Situ Tao, was not feeling well, they brought along a rank 4 sprinting beast. This beast's attack power was not strong, but it had a special ability. Its body was huge, and the bones on its back were like a house for people to rest in. Just like that, the group entered the mountain. At the same time, the other guilds also began to take action. The forest was vast, and all kinds of demonic beasts ran amok. If it was a normal day, it would be impossible to see so many demonic beasts. It seemed that there was indeed something unusual in the mountains. Lin Xian's eyes flashed. Situ Tao was originally worried, but when he saw Dongfang Xiong kill a Type 5 mountain hound with a single punch, he immediately calmed down. Not only that, but he also admired Lin Xian even more. Because of Lin Xian's guidance, they were always able to avoid the powerful demonic beasts, making the journey much easier. The other guilds were not so lucky. As soon as they entered the forest, they encountered a pack of demon wolves. Immediately, many people were injured. The Dafeng mountain range was very wide. With their speed, it would probably take them a month to walk out of it. During this period of time, Lin Xian had never forgotten to comprehend wind concept and lightning concept. Coupled with Lord Alcohol's guidance, his improvement was godly. It's getting late. Let's stop and rest. Situ Tao said. Lin Xian nodded and began to look for a safe place. In this mountain range, finding a safe terrain was very important. Otherwise, if they encountered a pack of demonic beasts, they would be in trouble. It's them. Lin Xian was surprised when he saw the people from the Dragon Gate Guild. I found a good place. Follow me. He smiled. Dongfang Xiong carried a huge mountain-splitting axe on his back and 2 dead, demonic beasts on his shoulders. He followed behind Lin Xian with a silly smile. Situ Jing supported her father and walked in the middle. Soon, they arrived at a flat area with a few caves around it. There are actually people here. Situ Tao's expression changed when he saw the people from the Dragon Gate Guild. Brother Lin, why don't we change locations? No need. I've already checked. This is the safest place in a radius of tens of miles, Lin Xian said slowly. Yes, Brother Lin is right. I think this place is very good. Dongfang Xiong was very satisfied. He threw the prey on his shoulders to the ground and prepared to clean them. This is the territory of the Dragon Gate Guild. You think you can behave so atrociously? A bald man snorted. Situ Tao, I think you don't want to live anymore. Situ Jing was so frightened that she trembled. Situ Tao smiled and said, Everyone, I'm really sorry. There's no other place around here. We'll just stay for one night. We won't disturb you. No, we have to talk about guild secrets tonight. The others can't be here. Yes, quickly scram. Also, these 2 demonic beasts are not bad. Leave them for us for dinner. The people from the Dragon Gate Guild were very overbearing. Not only did they want to chase away Lin Xian and the others, they also wanted to take the food. Situ Jing and her father looked at Lin Xian, but the 2 of them didn't notice anything. Lin Xian sighed. He patted Dongfang Xiong's shoulder and said, Brother Xiong, someone wants to steal your food. What? Dongfang Xiong suddenly stood up and stomped his feet on the ground. Who dares to steal my things? Ka ka ka. The ground trembled. Countless cracks spread out under Dongfang Xiong's feet and covered the ground in an instant. It was as if an earthquake had just occurred. The people from the Dragon Gate Guild were shocked as they stared blankly at the scene. Some of the harmonious spirit realm warriors also frowned. With their eyes, they could see that this attack was purely physical strength. This guy is so scary. They looked at each other and shook their heads slightly. They didn't want to provoke such a strong enemy when they were outside. All right, you can stay here, but don't disturb us. An old man said in a deep voice. Situ Jing and her father were relieved and settled down to rest. Dongfang Xiong continued to clean up the demonic beasts. Lin Xian looked at the cracks on the ground and praised in his heart. Dongfang Xiong's body was definitely not weaker than his silver lightning physique. One had to know that his silver lightning mark was cultivated through countless lightning strikes. Interesting guy. Lin Xian's lips curved up slightly. He also sat down and cultivated. Normally, he would cultivate the longevity art at this time. As long as he broke through the 2nd level of the longevity art, he would be able to enter the harmonious spirit realm. At that time, the true power of the longevity art would be revealed. After a while, the smell of barbecued meat drifted over. I'm done. Dongfang Xiong scratched his head and laughed. Smells so good. Situ Jing exclaimed and ran to the barbecued meat. Behind her, Situ Tao also walked over slowly. Lin Xian took out 3 jars of spirit wine and placed them on the ground. The group began to eat the meat and drink the wine. Beside them, the people from the Dragon Gate Guild saw Lin Xian and the others' food and the dried meat in their hands. They immediately felt unhappy. Some of them were even drooling. It's you. Quickly give us 10 jars of good wine. The bald man looked at the wine jars with shining eyes. Sorry, there's no share for you here. Lin Xian said in a deep voice. Kid, don't be too arrogant. Do you really think that we, the Dragon Gate Guild, are easy to bully? The bald man sneered. if you want to spend the night here peacefully, then give us 10 jars of good wine. Chapter 361. Brat, if you don't hand over the wine, I'll cut you down. The bald man took out a shiny long blade. You want a drink? Lin Xian laughed. Who was the one who threatened us earlier? Who was the one who didn't allow us to stay here? With your attitude earlier, you still want a drink? Is your head kicked by a donkey? What? I let you stay here because I pity you, but you don't know what's good for you. The bald man shouted angrily. Behind him, a few warriors quickly walked over. They were all half-step, harmonious spirit, realm warriors. When they stood together, they formed a terrifying aura. Don't fight, don't hurt our friendship. Situ Tao said with a trembling voice. I'll give you this cup of wine. Are you trying to dismiss a beggar? The bald man knocked over the wine cup. Get lost, or die. Lin Xian's eyes were gloomy. Dongfang Xiong also stood up. Go, beat him to death. The bald man was furious. Although he was afraid of Dongfang Xiong, he believed that his men could handle him. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. A few figures pounced on Lin Xian. Their attacks were very vicious. Buzz. The green sword light flickered like a gust of wind, faintly discernible. When Lin Xian retracted his sword, the martial artists screamed as they were sent flying. What? The pupils of the elders of the Dragon Gate Guild shrank. They unconsciously stood up. What did you see? One of the elders asked in a low voice. I didn't see it. It was too fast. The elder's eyelids were trembling. As a harmonious spirit realm warrior, he didn't see Lin Xian's sword clearly. This kind of thing was hard to believe. You dare to hurt them. He's rebelling. The bald man screamed. Men, kill him for me. Get the hell back. One of the elders moved and slapped the bald man away. Then he smiled and bowed to Lin Xian. My men are ignorant. Please forgive them. I don't want this kind of thing to happen a second time. Lin Xian said in a deep voice. Situ Jing and her father were stunned. Never in their wildest dreams would they have thought that the lawless Dragon Gate Guild would apologize to them. This was something that they could not even dream of. After the old man left, Dongfang Xiong chuckled and said, I didn't expect little brother Lin's swordsmanship to be so exquisite. If there's a chance in the future, we must exchange pointers. The four of them drank wine and ate meat until midnight. In the second half of the night, everyone fell asleep. Lin Xian sat cross-legged and continued cultivating. Rustle. Sha. Sha. Suddenly, there was a slight sound all around, as if something was walking. Lin Xian was the first to open his eyes, followed by Dongfang Xiong, and then the elders of the Dragon Gate Guild. Lin Xian's eyes flickered as he used his eye technique to scan the surroundings. Soon his expression darkened. Demonic beast horde. Not good, there's a beast king. Cries of alarm rang out as everyone was startled awake. Lin Xian did not dare to delay. He summoned Little Gold and called out to Dongfang Xiong and Situ Jing, Let's go! The few of them rode on Little Gold, who jumped into the demonic beast horde. With another jump, it left the demonic beast horde. Roar! Roars rang out as countless demonic beasts pounced on Little Gold, dominating the world. Dongfang Xiong punched out with both his fists, and the terrifying power blasted the demonic beasts around him into smithereens. Lin Xian flicked his finger and unleashed the Tempest Sword Ripple. The fine green sword chi was like a ripple that quickly spread out. Any demonic beast that came into contact with the Tempest Sword Ripple was sliced in half. The two of them did not dare to continue fighting, so they followed Little Gold and fled into the distance. The people of the Dragon Gate Guild were not so lucky. They were surrounded by countless demonic beasts and were quickly drowned. Behind the demonic beast horde, there was a huge black demonic python. It was dozens of meters long, and the black scales on its body were like cold metal. On the head of the black python sat a figure in red robes. If one took a closer look, they would realize that this person was very strange. He had the body of a human, but the head of a poisonous snake. His long neck was like a snake's body, constantly twisting. If Lin Xian was here, he would definitely recognize him. This kind of strange creature had a strange name. It was called the Crimson Black Demonic Tribe. Trying to run? This demonic beast spoke in human language. His body swayed, twisting in the air like a poisonous snake, and disappeared in the blink of an eye. Lin Xian and the rest sat on Little Gold's back and quickly escaped from the demonic beast horde. Some of the demonic beasts that chased them were killed by him and Dongfang Xiong, so they were temporarily safe. Why are there so many demonic beasts? Lin Xian was puzzled. Are there a lot of demonic beasts recently? Yes. Situ Tao nodded slowly. Since 2 months ago, the demonic beasts in the Dafeng mountain range started to gather. Some uncommon demonic beasts also came out from the depths of the mountains. 2 months ago? Lin Xian was puzzled. This was around the same time as the appearance of the Crimson Black Demonic Tribe. Could it be? He remembered how the Crimson Black Demonic Tribe helped the Black Dragon sect stir up trouble. It seems that even the Tian Shan kingdom will not be peaceful. Lin Xian sighed. The Black Dragon sect was about to revive. He could not stop it at all. Perhaps it would not be long before the Black Dragon sect's shadow appeared in the entire Tianan region. When that time came, it would be a true disaster. Only by quickly finding the Great Dragon Sword could they protect themselves in this chaotic world. Lin Xian yearned for the power of the Great Dragon Sword even more. Just as he was thinking, Dongfang Xiong's expression suddenly changed. Dodge. Chapter 362. The Red Robe Demon spoke arrogantly, not putting Lin Xian and Dongfang Xiong in his eyes at all. Demonic qi filled the air. His strength should be equivalent to an intermediate harmonious spirit. Lin Xian's eyes flashed as he identified the Red Robe Demon's strength. The harmonious spirit realm was divided into 4 small realms: early, intermediate, late, and peak. The gap between each small realm was huge. This gap was similar to the gap between the realms before the harmonious spirit realm. It could be said to be the difference between heaven and earth. A mid-harmonious spirit realm warrior could easily kill several early harmonious spirit realm warriors. Lin Xian was only a half-step harmonious spirit realm warrior, and Dongfang Xiong was an early harmonious spirit realm warrior. So the Red Robe Demon didn't put them in his eyes. He was only thinking about how to kill these two. Little brother Lin, I want to do it myself. Dongfang Xiong said with a grin. All right. Lin Xian shrugged and stood to the side. Seeing this, the Red Robe Demon's demonic qi instantly shrunk. It was strange that someone dared to look down on him. Good, very good. I will use the cruelest method to kill you. The Red Robe Demon sneered. A group of idiots, you have never seen a demon before. Of course you don't know how powerful we are. Before he finished his words, the red snake opened its mouth and spat out countless wind blades. The air was cut open and huge cracks appeared on the ground. This kind of power was far beyond an early harmonious spirit realm warrior. Clank! However, such a sharp attack only created sparks when it hit Dongfang Xiong's body. His wheat-colored muscles were not damaged at all. Hee, delightful. Dongfang Xiong laughed foolishly. You should have a taste of my power. Dongfang Xiong took out the mountain's splitting axe from his back and held it tightly with both hands, chopping down with all his strength. A strong wind blew, and everything in front of him was covered by the huge axe. Ka! Before the huge axe fell, everything in front of him had already turned into dust. The red-robed demon turned his head. His dark green eyes were filled with seriousness. He actually felt the threat of death. How is this possible? He is just an early harmonious spirit realm kid. 10,000 miles snake. 8 dark red snakes flew out from his body and merged with the spiritual chi outside, constantly growing bigger. Soon, they grew into 8 gigantic pythons. 2 of them bit towards the shiny axe, while the other 4 attacked Dongfang Xiong from different directions. Of the remaining 2, one ran towards Lin Xian and the other towards Situ Jing and her son. The red-robed Yao was actually planning to kill everyone with a single move. Hee, overbearing heavenly axe. Dongfang Xiong still had a silly smile on his face, but his aura had undergone an astonishing change. It was as if a primordial giant was holding a heavenly axe and chopping down with all his might. It was as if the heavens and earth were about to be split apart. Boom! As the axe fell, the 200-meter-long pythons were split into 2 halves. The yellow axe blade flew forward at high speed, violently chopping towards the red-robed Yao. On the other side, Lin Xian unsheathed his broken sword. It was as if silver lightning was dancing in the air, swift and fierce. When the silver light fell, a transparent bloody hole appeared on the python's 7-inch body. The huge body collapsed with a loud crash. This was a swordsman. If he did not make a move, it would be fine, but if he did, it would be a fatal blow. Moreover, Lin Xian had already touched the edge of the thunder concept with that strike. Behind him, the little white monkey was jumping around with the cold star dagger in its hand. It had already resolved the danger. This monkey was very mysterious. Lin Xian had never seen it cultivate, but its strength had increased rapidly. Even now, Lin Xian did not know where its bottom line was. Bang! Bang! After the red-robed Yao blasted away Dongfang Xiong's attack, he realized that the 8 pythons he had summoned were all dead. He had seen Dongfang Xiong's power, but he was extremely surprised by the performance of Lin Xian and the little white monkey. It seems that I've underestimated you. With that, he took a step forward, and his Yao Qi soared into the sky. The shocking aura covered the sky, and the red-robed Yao also underwent a shocking change. His body no longer looked like a human, but was formed by countless red and black venomous snakes. He looked terrifying. He stretched out his hand, and his fingers turned into 5 pythons. They opened their bloody mouths and bit down. Boom! Dongfang Xiong was sent flying. Although there were no injuries on his body, he could not withstand the power. Damn it, again! Dongfang Xiong patted the dirt off his body and charged forward again with his axe. I'll help you. Let's end this quickly. Lin Xian turned into a bolt of lightning and charged forward. From the attack just now, he analyzed that the strength of this demon was 30% stronger than martial artists of the same level. Moreover, his moves were strange, and Dongfang Xiong could not break through immediately. Lin Xian did not want to spend too much time here. After all, there were Yao beasts all around, and a second Yao clan member could come at any time. The 2 of them attacked together, forming a joint attack. The overbearing heavens axe formed a fierce wind with the power to split mountains and rivers. Lin Xian used the sword-drawing technique, and the power of wind and thunder merged, increasing the power by several times. Before the attack arrived, the red-robed Yao clan member's body reacted. It was an instinctive reaction, and Yao beasts were the most sensitive. Poof! Sika! The overbearing heavens axe sent one of his arms flying, and the wind-thunder sword-drawing technique cut his waist. Phew! Lin Xian heaved a sigh of relief, but his expression changed immediately. That's not right. He suddenly retreated, and silver thunder patterns appeared on his body. There was no blood, not a trace of blood. If the body was cut in half, there should be blood spurting out, but there was no blood on the red-robed Yao clan member. Even if he was a Yao clan member, there should be blood, unless he was not injured. The moment the silver thunder patterns appeared on his body, the severed part of the red-robed Yao clan member turned into countless venomous snakes, flicking their scarlet tongues. Under an unknown force, the severed arm was reattached to his body. At his waist, countless red snakes appeared on both ends of the severed part. They intertwined with each other, forming a complete body once again. Boom! A ferocious python had formed in the air with a dangerous force, sending Lin Xian and Dongfang Xiong flying. Everything happened in an instant. Lin Xian had just finished using the silver thunder body when he was sent flying. The attack was formed by Yao Qi, and it was currently destroying Lin Xian's body. Fortunately, he had the silver thunder patterns, which could resist the Yao Qi. Otherwise, even if it was another mid-harmonious spirit realm warrior, they would have been seriously injured by this attack. Buzz! The great dragon sword intent in his body trembled, and a sharp sword qi flew out from his body, forming a ring of sword light that destroyed the Yao Qi. Lin Xian turned around and looked at Dongfang Xiong, who was beside him. Dongfang Xiong's face was pale, but the Yao Qi on his body had been removed. His body was also unscathed, which was enough to prove that his body was abnormally strong. They're not dead. The red-robed Yao clan member was surprised. His dark green eyes moved. When he found that Lin Xian and Dongfang Xiong were not dead, and there were no external injuries, his snake face suddenly became very ugly. It seems like you won't know how powerful I am if I don't use my true strength. Chapter 363. Lowly humans, you've surprised me, but the show ends here. If nothing unexpected happened, these two people must be human genius martial artists. Killing such people would be much more satisfying than killing other martial artists. You talk too much. I think I need to cut your tongue out, Lin Xian snorted. Fried tongue, I like it, Dongfang Xiong said with a smile. Die. The red-robed demon was furious. His arms shook and turned into a giant python, charging at the two. A sinister and cold aura enveloped the area. Lin Xian felt his spiritual power being blocked. Gale lightning sword. Waving the broken sword, Lin Xian used his strongest move. A giant sword appeared in the sky. Ancient inscriptions were carved on the blade, and it fell with a mysterious aura. Beside him, Dongfang Xiong also used the hegemonic axe. The dazzling golden axe cleaved the sky into pieces. The two ultimate moves slashed at the red-robed demon, and terrifying energy surged toward him. Impossible! How can they use such powerful attacks? The red-robed demon's expression changed. This kind of attack was enough to threaten his life, not to mention two at the same time. Run! He could no longer summon the will to resist. His body turned into thousands of poisonous snakes, fleeing in all directions. Rumble, mountains and rivers shattered, and the ground collapsed. It was doomsday. Strong winds blew, and trees were uprooted. Let's go! Lin Xian and the others didn't stop. They quickly left with the Sidhu father and son. After a long time, a terrifying pit appeared in the ground. It was so dark that it couldn't be seen. At the edge of the pit, a palm-sized dark red snake quickly escaped. Half a month later, Lin Xian and the others walked out of the Dafeng mountain range. What rich spiritual energy. Lin Xian's first reaction after arriving at Dragonstar Kingdom was that the spiritual energy here was very rich. As expected of a kingdom, the spiritual energy here was much richer than in Tian Shan Kingdom. How do we get there? Lin Xian asked. Go east for 500 miles. There's a city there, Sijitao said. Their running beast had been eaten long ago, and now it was sitting on Shaojin. Lin Xian patted lightly, and Shaojin turned into a streak of golden light and jumped towards the east. This was the border of the Dragonstar Strong Country, and there were all sorts of people here. There were lone rangers, and there were also groups. One of the wild wolves took a fancy to the extraordinary Xiao Jin and wanted to snatch him away. Lin Xian and Dongfang Xiong fought with them and beat them away. However, his heart was filled with astonishment. The cultivation of these people was uneven. The highest cultivation was at the early stage of the harmonious spirit realm, and the weakest was at the 7th level of the spiritual sea realm. However, the combat strength of these people was beyond imagination. The early harmonious spirit realm warrior wasn't any weaker than a mid-harmonious spirit realm warrior. Moreover, even that martial artist at the 7th level of spirit sea level had the strength of a half-step harmonious spirit. Lin Xian had never seen such a situation in the heavenly mountain kingdom. As expected of a powerful country, it is not just a little bit stronger than the Tian Shan kingdom. Lin Xian felt that even if he was in the Dragon Star strong country, he wouldn't have much of an advantage against the younger generation. Along the way, Lin Xian's thoughts seemed to have been confirmed. This was the golden age of martial arts. This was the heaven of the strong. From Situ Tao, he learned that the Dragon Star strong country had a vast territory that was several times the size of the Tian Shan kingdom. Here, there were several top forces, and each of them could sweep through the Tian Shan kingdom. One country, 2 sects, 3 sections. These 6 forces were the top existences of the Dragon Star country, controlling most of the resources here. Below them, there were the 4 great clans, who were also the overlords of a region. These were things that everyone in the Dragon Star country knew. Situ Tao had been running around doing business for many years, so he knew a lot about the Dragon Star country. Lin Xian had a general understanding of the forces here. If nothing unexpected happened, the geniuses participating in the sacred True Dragon Gathering would be chosen from these forces. The closer they got to the city, the more martial artists there were. During this time, there were already several groups of people staring at the golden frog that Lin Xian was sitting on. "Little brother Lin, why don't we get down? You should put away this demonic beast." Situ Tao was a bit worried. "Those people are all thugs. They specialize in robbing caravans at the border. We should be careful." Okay, Lin Xian had just arrived and didn't want to cause too much trouble. The 4 landed and Lin Xian put away Little Gold. However, the little white monkey insisted on not going in, so Lin Xian couldn't do anything about it. Although he put away Little Gold, the people behind didn't give up and continued to follow Lin Xian's group. Finally, a group of people stopped Lin Xian. "Brother, you don't look familiar," a man with a scar on his face said coldly. "What? I can't come just because I'm unfamiliar." Lin Xian's expression was calm. "Good kid, you have guts." The scarred man laughed. "We are very interested in your golden frog and want to buy it. How about this? You name a price. We won't bargain." Situ Tao's body trembled. His eyes were filled with fear. He knew this group of people. They were called the Lion Group, and the scarred man was the mad blade Gue Jianqiu from the Netherworld. His cultivation had reached the peak of early harmonious spirit realm, and he had a top profound rank treasure blade. Not many people could be his opponent. Whenever a caravan met him, they would obediently hand over a large amount of spirit stones for peace. Now that they were targeted by these people, Situ Tao's heart was filled with despair. They didn't have that many spirit stones. How could they hand it over? "I'm sorry, Little Gold is my friend. I won't sell it." Lin Xian shook his head. "Kid, my big brother said that he would buy it because of you. Be smart and hand over that demonic beast. Otherwise, don't even think about leaving here alive." A tall and skinny man with an iron rod shouted coldly. The iron rod in his hand shook, turning the ground 10 meters around him into powder. What a terrifying strength! Dongfang Xiong scratched his head. He could see that the iron rod only shattered the surface of the ground. As for the stones below, it didn't damage them at all. To achieve this kind of technique, one would need an extremely high level of control. It was beyond Lin Xian's expectation that a bandit group could have such an expert. However, this kind of ability was not enough to threaten Lin Xian. "I won't give you little gold. If you want to fight, I'll accompany you." A sword light flashed in Lin Xian's eyes. Qi soared from his body. It was extremely sharp, even his aura changed. An expert? The scarred man was surprised. The young man with the iron rod also narrowed his eyes. They had lived on the edge of a blade for many years, so they still had this kind of eyesight. Lin Xian's aura was like that of a swordsman, although he didn't have a sword in his hand. On the side, Dongfang Xiong was also rubbing his palms. Eating and fighting were two of his favorite things. To be able to spar with an expert was something he couldn't ask for more. "You guys, who wants to fight?" Dongfang Xiong smiled foolishly. You're courting death." The man with the iron rod was furious. Although Lin Xian's performance was very strong, they weren't easily intimidated. The tall and skinny man suddenly jumped up, the iron rod in his hand glowing, and he swung it at Dongfang Xiong's head. Chapter 364. The lanky man attacked fiercely, causing the air to explode. The iron rod seemed to be as thick as an arm, but it was as heavy as a mountain. He good one. Dongfang Xiong laughed and punched out with his right fist. There were no flashy moves or flashes of light. It was a solid punch that landed on the iron rod. Clang! An ear-piercing metallic sound was heard, causing the air around to tremble, forming wave-like ripples. Lin Xian used his spirit energy to cover Situ, Tao, and his son, ensuring their safety. Otherwise, the shockwave alone would have killed them both. Under everyone's shocked gaze, the lanky man was sent flying, and his iron rod fell to the ground. What? The Lion Regiment members were shocked. Their eyeballs almost popped out. The scarred man frowned as well, looking at Dongfang Xiong with a gloomy gaze. The tall and skinny man was his trusted subordinate. He was an early harmonious spirit expert. Although he looked thin and weak, his strength was astonishing. Ordinary harmonious spirit realm warriors were no match for this lanky man in terms of pure strength. However, such an expert was sent flying by someone. Moreover, it was with pure physical strength. How could they not be shocked? "Brat, how dare you hurt him?" The scarred man's tone was stern. As the leader of the regiment, he had to take action. A jet-black, treasured blade appeared in the air. The scarred man held the treasured blade in his hand, his body emitting a dazzling blade light. "You want to fight? I'll play with you." Lin Xian took a step forward, the sword energy on his body surging as if it was going to pierce the sky. This aura was very strong, suppressing the black blade light in the sky. "What? This is impossible!" The Lion Regiment members exclaimed. That was their leader, the famous wild blade Gue Jianqiu. But now he was suppressed by a young man in terms of aura. Ghost! This was definitely a ghost. The scarred man was also shocked. He felt that he was not facing a young man, but a peerless divine sword with incomparable sharpness. Sword intent. He immediately thought of this terrifying intent realm. One should know that sword intent and blade intent were both unparalleled offensive intents. It was very difficult for ordinary people to comprehend them. Even he had not comprehended blade intent. At this moment, the knife-scarred man actually had the thought of retreating. Even he couldn't believe that he was actually afraid of a young man. However, his body betrayed him. However, at this moment, a loud voice came from the sky again. "Situ Tao, you guys are actually here." Hearing this voice, the scar-faced man quickly withdrew his saber light. Lin Xian also dispersed his sword intent, turning back into a handsome young man. Everyone looked up and saw a huge black shadow descending rapidly from the sky. It was a demonic bird. Its entire body was fiery red, and the feathers on its body burned like flames. There were 3 figures standing on top of it. At this moment, they were looking down. Pupiyu, the flaming bird, landed on the ground. blowing away the surrounding rocks. The eyes of the old man in the middle were like lightning as he quickly scanned the surroundings. The Lion Regiment. When he saw the scar-faced man, he frowned. Sherfong had heard of this team before. Their leader, Mad Blade Ghost's Grimace in particular, was rumored to be extremely difficult to deal with. However, he was not afraid of these people. Mad Blade, how dare you set your eyes on the Jiang family's goods? You've got guts. The Jiang family? The scar-faced man's face darkened when he heard these two words. He squeezed out an ugly smile and said, "The information this time was wrong. We really didn't know that these goods belonged to the Jiang family. We've offended you. We'll take our leave first. We'll definitely apologize to the Jiang family in the future." With that, he quickly left with a group of people. He looked as if he was escaping. Humph! The old man in the middle snorted coldly and did not pursue the matter. However, the two young men beside him looked at him with disdain. The Jiang family? Lin Xian was surprised. The powerful scar-faced man and the others were actually so afraid of these two words. It seemed that the Jiang family was very powerful. Oh right, the Jiang family. I wonder if Jiang Sanfeng is from the Jiang family? Lin Xian suddenly remembered the person that Old Man Deke had asked him to look for. However, it was not convenient for him to ask about the current situation. Forget it. Since the Jiang family is so powerful, there will be plenty of opportunities in the future. Lin Xian calmed down. "Situ Tao, did you bring the goods?" the old man asked. "Yes," Situ Tao replied respectfully. "All right, come on up." The old man waved his hand and brought Lin Xian and the others onto the flame bird. Up! With a command, the huge flame bird flapped its wings again and soared into the sky. On the back of the bird, the three Jiang family members stood in front without looking back. Situ Tao and his son sat there uneasily. They were only Sea of Soul realm martial artists and had never sat on such a demonic beast before. However, Dongfang Xiong was very excited. His bell-like eyes stared at the back of the bird, and he kept muttering. Lin Xian's soul power was abnormal. When he heard Dongfang Xiong's words, he could not help but laugh. This guy was actually thinking about how to eat this demonic beast. Moreover, Lin Xian was not the only one who heard him. One of the Jiang family members in front suddenly turned around and stared coldly at Dongfang Xiong. Dongfang Xiong scratched the back of his head and smiled foolishly. "Humph, country bumpkin." That disciple looked back with disdain. The flame bird flew very fast. In a moment they saw a city. However, it was obvious that they could not fly in the city. The Jiang family elder let the flame bird land, and the group walked into the city. The city of Dragonstar Nation was much bigger and more prosperous than Heavenly Mountain Nation. In the northwest of the city, there was a cluster of pavilions, all of which belonged to the Jiang family. Lin Xian and the others were arranged to stay, while Situ Tao followed the old man to hand over the goods. Since they had nothing to do, Lin Xian and the others planned to walk around the city and see if there was anything fun to do. The streets were very wide and were paved with huge bluestones that were abnormally hard. There were many snack bars on both sides, but Dongfang Xiong was not interested. His favorite food was still demonic beasts. On the other hand, Situ Jing's face was flushed red with excitement. "Sigh, almost again." "Damn it, we lost money again." Lin Xian noticed many martial artists walking over with bitter faces, their eyes full of unwillingness. What's wrong with these people? Dongfang Xiong scratched his head. "I don't know, but they all seem to be coming from the front," Lin Xian said. "Should we go and take a look?" "Sure." Situ Jing was overjoyed. The three of them walked over quickly. At the end of the street, there was a black mass of people, making the surroundings impenetrable. Inside, cheers could be heard from time to time, but most of the time it was a sigh. What are they doing? Lin Xian and the others were curious. So many people can't get in. Situ Jing looked disappointed. Brother Xiong, it's up to you, Lin Xian said with a smile. Don't worry, leave it to me, Dongfang Xiong said with a grin. After that, he used his large hands that were like iron pincers to forcibly tear the crowd apart. Lin Xian and Li Chia followed behind him and easily squeezed through the crowd. What's this? Lin Xian came to the innermost area and saw a magical scene. Chapter 365. After squeezing into the crowd, Lin Xian saw a martial artist in front of him who was attacking a black stone tablet. The man's punches were so fast that they left an afterimage in the air. Bang! A deep sound was heard, and the ground around him trembled slightly. However, the huge black stone tablet did not move at all. However, on the surface of the stone tablet, there were 4 bright red stars that were shining brightly. Sigh, another failure. The crowd sighed and lamented. What is this? Situ Jing asked curiously. A young martial artist who was closest to them said, This is a strength testing stone. It can test a martial artist's strength. Do you see those 10 vertical stars? Each star represents 10,000 jin. When your strength reaches the required level, those stars will light up. Then why did you say that I failed? Lin Xian asked. This is a strength testing stone. Each test will cost 100 mid-grade spirit stones. But if someone can light up 6 stars, the stall owner will give them 10,000 mid-grade spirit stones for free. I see. Lin Xian understood. To light up 6 stars, one must have at least 60,000 pounds of strength. Even a harmonious spirit realm martial artist would find it hard to achieve this. Spirit transformation realm martial artists would not play this game, so the stall owner was obviously trying to make a profit. One should know that mid-grade spirit stones were hard currency. 100 mid-grade spirit stones for a test was not cheap. However, this was the Dragonstar Empire. There were plenty of rich martial artists here. Soon, another martial artist walked out. He was a man in his 40s. His face was slightly yellow and his clothes were thin. He looked like a teacher. Can he do it? The crowd was puzzled. It's hard to say. I can't sense his aura. He might be an expert. Someone analyzed. The middle-aged man rolled up his sleeves, revealing his yellowed wrist. He clenched his 5 fingers together and waved his palm lightly, as if a cloud had floated past. No way, what is he doing? Someone sneered. But in the next moment, everyone was stunned. Buzz! Buzz! The palm wind hit the black strength testing stone, and the stars on it lit up quickly. 1 star, 2 stars. The crowd held their breaths in anticipation. Buzz! When the 5th star lit up, everyone's hearts jumped to their throats. However, the 6th star did not light up. Sigh, we were so close. Everyone sighed again. Dongfang Xiong, on the other hand, was waiting with his bell-like eyes, looking eager to give it a try. However, at this time, a few sneers came from the side. What a bunch of trash. It's been so long, and no one has been able to strike out the 6th star. Hearing this, many people were angry. They had tried before, but all of them failed. Who are you calling trash? Many people glared at him. However, when they saw the person who spoke, many of them were stunned. Lin Xian also looked over curiously, only to see 3 young men standing not far to his left. They were dressed in luxurious clothes, and their faces were filled with arrogance. The word Jiang was painted on their chests. They are disciples of the Jiang family. Lin Xian frowned slightly. These people did not look like good people. Humph. So what if I'm talking about you? Trash is trash. One of the young men sneered. Those people did not dare to talk back, but their faces turned purplish black. If you're so good, then go ahead. It's not too late to mock others when you strike out the 6th star. There was a hint of anger in this voice. What did you say? That young man was angry that someone dared to talk back to him. He looked around and quickly locked onto the person who spoke. A young man in white held a folding fan in his hand and gently fanned it. His handsome face immediately attracted the attention of the female martial artist present. Beside him stood a woman. However, she wore a silver mask that covered her beautiful face. However, her exposed eyes were like the bright moon, very moving. Such a handsome young man and a mysterious woman quickly attracted everyone's attention. Were you the one who questioned me just now? The Jiang family disciple looked unfriendly. Everyone knows how to be sarcastic. If you want to mock others, show me your strength first. The young man in white smiled indifferently. Do you know who you're talking to? The Jiang family disciple sneered. Do you believe that I can make you stay here forever? This is Dragon Star Nation City, not your Jiang family's territory. The young man in white disagreed. Besides, you're just a small branch. What's there to be proud of? You. The three Jiang family disciples were enraged. In Qingshan City, they always kept their word, and no one dared to talk back to them. But now, someone actually dared to talk back to them. Humph. With a cold snort, a dangerous aura surged out from that disciple. Ah. Situ Jing was the closest, and her strength was weak, so she was hit by the aura. Lin Xian reacted quickly and cut off the aura with a finger and quickly protected Situ Jing. You dare to stop me? You're courting death. That Jiang family disciple suddenly turned his head and looked at Lin Xian with a cold gaze. The other two also looked over with killing intent in their eyes. Your aura hurt a child. Don't tell me you don't allow others to fight back? Lin Xian's face darkened. That's right. I don't think you're good people. Dong Fangxiong also said angrily. What did you say? The three of them were furious. Someone dared to talk back to them again. The surrounding warriors also looked on nervously. They knew that these three guys were the little tyrants of Qingshan City. Usually, they used their status as Jiang family disciples to bully men and women, but no one dared to provoke them. Today's situation would definitely make them furious. Who are these three people? They don't look familiar, someone said in a low voice. Needless to say, they must be outsiders. How would the people of Qingshan City dare to find trouble with them? The three of you, kneel down and kowtow and I'll spare your lives, Jiang Feng said with a glare. Are you a dog or something? Biting everyone you see. Lin Xian sneered. He was not afraid of such people. Biting people? Are you a dog demon? Quickly show your true form. I'm going to subdue you, Dong Fangxiong said with a serious face. Uft. Finally, someone in the crowd could not help but laugh. The others also tried their best to hold back their laughter, but the smiles on their faces were clearly visible. I'm going to kill you. Jiang Feng was furious. Someone actually dared to scold him. He must cut off his tongue. Brother, you're wrong. Calling him a dog, isn't that an insult to dogs? The young man in white said with a smile. The crowd laughed in surprise, and various expressions appeared on their faces. What was going on today? Why were there so many fierce people all of a sudden? First, Jiang Feng was called a dog demon. Now he was even worse than a dog. I'm going to kill you. Jiang Feng shouted to the sky with a ferocious expression. The two of you attack. After saying that, the three of them were about to attack. Little brothers, listen to this old man's words. The stall owner came out and said, quickly, this matter started because of the strength testing stone. Why don't we use the strength testing stone to solve it? What do you think? Chapter 366. The stall owner of the strength testing stone was a short, old man with a goatee, and his eyes narrowed into slits. He smiled and said, Little brothers, why don't we use the strength testing stone to settle this matter? Everyone was stunned and looked at the old man in shock. The other party was a disciple of the Jiang family. If they were angered, they would definitely lose their lives. Even so, Everyone was very interested in the old man's suggestion. Until now, no one had been able to hit 6 stars. They wondered if these people could succeed. Lin Xian did not think much of it, but Dongfang Xiong was abnormally excited. His bell-sized eyes bloomed with endless brilliance. The white-robed youth also nodded in agreement. I have no problem, but I'm afraid the Jiang family disciples won't dare to accept the challenge. Humph, why wouldn't they dare? Jiang Feng sneered. Since you're courting death, I'll fulfill your wish. But if you lose, you'll be at my disposal. Then what if you lose? Lin Xian asked in a low voice. Are you joking? Brother Feng will lose? Another Jiang family disciple said. Since it's a bet, it's better to agree on it beforehand. Otherwise, someone might renege on the debt, the white-robed youth said slowly. What do you want? Jiang Feng asked back. We won't punish you, but in the future, if you meet us, you'll have to stay 10 meters away, Lin Xian said slowly. You're courting death. No one has ever dared to make such a request of me. Jiang Feng's face darkened. He was a disciple of the Jiang family. His body was very honorable. How could he avoid others? So you don't dare? The white-robed youth waved his fan. If you don't dare, then forget it. We won't force you. Who says I don't dare? Jiang Feng was anxious. There were so many people here. If he did not agree, others would definitely think too much. Okay, I agree. Jiang Feng's expression was full of confidence. I won't lose. Cut the crap. I can't wait. Dongfang Xiong rubbed his hands. Little brothers, the strength testing stone tablets rules are 100 mid-grade spirit stones each time. The old man with the goatee smiled. What? You dare to take our money? The Jiang family disciple stared. Everyone was stunned. This old man was really greedy. He even dared to earn money from the Jiang family. Was he not afraid of revenge? Sir, here are 100 mid-grade spirit stones. The young man in white handed over a bag of spirit stones. I'm not like some people who can't even afford 100 mid-grade spirit stones. I don't look like a disciple of a big family. It's only 100 spirit stones. I have plenty of them. Jiang Feng's expression was cold as he took out a bag of spirit stones from his storage ring. Lin Xian took out 2 bags of spirit stones and handed them to the short old man. Who's first? Dongfang Xiong asked. I'll go first. Jiang Feng took a step forward and arrived in front of the testing area. Looking at the cold strength measuring stone tablet, Jiang Feng secretly circulated his spirit energy and punched out. Suddenly, the air in front of him exploded, and the violent impact hit the black stone tablet. Whoa! The black stone tablet trembled slightly, and stars lit up one after another. Everyone looks over curiously, wanting to see if this Jiang family disciple is able to hit out 6-star jades. The first 4 stars quickly lit up, and the 5th star was the last to light up, flickering with a dazzling red light. As everyone watched, the red light of the 5th star gradually deepened and finally turned purple. But the 6th star still did not light up. The surrounding cultivators hissed and sighed in disappointment. Failed. Even a Jiang family disciple failed. Is there really no one who can hit out 6-star jades? They could not be blamed for being disappointed. While Jiang Feng's reputation was not good, but everyone knew his power. He definitely surpassed martial artists of the same level. Impossible. When Jiang Feng saw the result, he immediately became anxious. There's a problem. There must be a problem. How can I only have 250 kilograms of strength? Jiang Feng did not believe it. He had used almost all his strength in that punch, but even so, he still did not hit out 6-star jades. Tell me, is there a problem with this? Jiang Feng pulled the old man with the goatee next to him. Little brother, there's definitely no problem with this strength measuring stone, the old man said in a panic. If you don't have the ability, then don't blame others. The white-robed young man sneered. What did you say? Jiang Feng roared. I said, if you don't have the ability, then don't find excuses. What strength measuring stone is broken? The white-robed young man sneered. Don't implicate the innocent. Don't forget that there are so many people here watching. You don't want the Jiang family's reputation to be tarnished, right? The white-robed young man said as he waved his fan. Humph. Jiang Feng threw the short old man to the side. I want to see how you can hit out 6-star jades. The white-robed young man smiled and slowly walked towards the strength measuring stone. His eyes focused, and a sharp aura was emitted from his body. The white-robed young man quickly waved his palm. Buzz! The terrifying palm landed on the black strength measuring stone, causing the ground to tremble slightly. The 5 stars on it quickly lit up. Under everyone's anxious attention, the 5th star shone brightly, and its color changed from red to purple and finally to black. But the 6th star still did not light up. It didn't light up? The white-robed young man frowned. How can this be? The eyes of the silver-masked woman in the distance were also filled with confusion. Everyone was in an uproar. They did not expect that even the white-robed young man could not hit out 6-star jades. Humph! What about 6-star jades? Jiang Feng sneered. You still think that there's no problem with the strength measuring stone? Or are you also a piece of trash? This fellow is obviously lying to everyone. He looked at the short old man with killing intent in his eyes. Daring to lie to him, Jiang Feng, is an unforgivable crime. The white-robed young man was puzzled. He believed in his own strength. That punch just now was definitely not as simple as 250 kilograms. But why didn't the 6th star light up? Is there really a problem with the strength measuring stone? Shaking his head, the white-robed young man turned to look at the short old man. It's none of my business. Little brothers, there's really no problem with the strength measuring stone. The short old man shrunk his body. There are still 2 more people. Maybe those 2 little brothers can hit out 6-star jades? If they can't, then it's not too late to punish me. Hearing this, everyone looked at Lin Xian and Dongfang Xiong, but they ignored Lin Xian and focused their attention on Dongfang Xiong. There was no choice. Lin Xian's body was too thin and weak. Moreover, his cultivation did not even reach the harmonious spirit realm. How could such a person hit 6-star jades? On the other hand, Dongfang Xiong's muscles were filled with explosive power. He looked very promising. Maybe he could really hit 6-star jades? Jiang Feng looked at the 2 of them and said in a deep voice, All right, let's let them try. If they can't hit 6-star jades, I won't let you off. That's right, that's right. The short old man nodded. Don't worry, old man. I'm sure I can hit it. Dongfang Xiong grinned. Little brother Lin, you want to go first? The strength testing stone let out a deep sound. An entire stone tablet started to tremble. Under everyone's horrified gazes, the stars above quickly lit up. 1, 2, 3. The 5th heart quickly lit up, turning from bright red to purple and finally to black. After turning black, the 6 stars suddenly lit up. That dazzling red was like a red sun, illuminating the surroundings. It's lit up. It's really lit up. The 6th star is really lit up. Everyone exclaimed in surprise. Jiang Feng's face darkened, and the 2 Jiang family disciples beside him also looked uneasy, wishing they could leave this place immediately. Dongfang Xiong hit 6 stars, which meant that there was no problem with the strength testing stone. Then the problem was Jiang Feng's strength. Thinking that a Jiang family disciple, a harmonious spirit expert, was actually not as good as an unknown kid. Thinking of this, Jiang Feng had the urge to vomit blood. Beside him, the white-robed youth was also shocked. He carefully looked at Dongfang Xiong and his eyes were filled with battle intent. What a terrifying strength! This guy's strength should be in strength. The white-robed youth thought. I am little Wenxishu. How should I address you? The white-robed youth asked. He, my name is Dongfang Xiong, and this is little brother Lin Xian. Dongfang Xiong scratched his head and smiled. However, everyone obviously ignored Lin Xian. Many people looked at Dongfang Xiong as if they were looking at a monster. No, I must have made a mistake just now. This time, I will definitely hit it. Jiang Feng gritted his teeth and said, as a disciple of the Jiang family, he could not lose to someone of unknown origin. Throwing out another bag of spirit stones, Jiang Feng walked in front of the strength testing stone. His body emitted a blue light, as unfathomable as the ocean. The surrounding spirit energy crazily surged, forming a terrifying blue fist shadow behind him, emitting a terrifying aura. Break for me! Jiang Feng shouted angrily. The blue spirit energy wrapped around his fist, and he suddenly punched out. The blue fist shadow behind him followed his movement and quickly bombarded the strength testing stone. Boom! An explosion sounded in the air, as if a mountain rock had exploded, causing the air to boil. Everyone looked again, wanting to see if Jiang Feng, who had used all of his strength, could hit the 6th star. However, everyone was disappointed. The 5th star turned from purple to black, like a black jade, but the 6th star still did not light up. Impossible! This is impossible! Why didn't I succeed? Jiang Feng's eyes showed a trace of panic. He had used all of his strength. Not only did he use all of his spirit energy, but he also used the surrounding spirit energy. He had absolute confidence in this punch. Furthermore, the force was definitely above 70,000 kilograms. However, why did the 6th star still not light up? Beside him, Lin Xian furrowed his brows as he fell into deep thought. With his outstanding spirit energy, he could naturally sense the strength of that punch. According to his deduction, although it was not as strong as Dongfang Xiong, it should be able to hit the 6th star. Damn it! How much strength is required to hit the 6th star? Lin Xian cursed inwardly. If I'm not wrong, the minimum requirement for the 6th star should be 50,000 kilograms of strength, Lord Alcohol said through voice transmission. 50,000 kilograms? Lin Xian almost jumped up. This was too terrifying. This kind of strength was very close to that of a spirit transformation realm expert. No wonder so many people could not hit the 6th star. Damn it, this thing actually requires 50,000 kilograms of strength. Then he thought that Dongfang Xiong was definitely not an ordinary person, since he could hit 50,000 kilograms of strength. What do you know? This strength testing stone was used to test disciples in ancient times. 6 stars is just a passing grade. It's not a big deal. Lord Alcohol said disdainfully. Lin Xian was speechless. How monstrous were ancient warriors! Although he had never seen them before, he knew that they were definitely not simple from Lord Alcohol's description. I wonder if I can hit the 6th star after using Silver Thunder Body? Lin Xian was eager to give it a try. Firstly, he wanted to test his true strength. Secondly, he wanted to prove to Lord Alcohol that he was not weaker than anyone else. Even if he were to face ancient warriors, he would not admit defeat. With that thought, Lin Xian threw out a bag of spirit stones and prepared to test again. Chapter 368. Seeing Lin Xian's eagerness to try, the others were stunned. Is this guy crazy? Isn't this a waste of money? Yeah, a half-step harmonious spirit kid. It's already very scary if he can hit 5 stars. Everyone discussed. They didn't think that Lin Xian could hit 6 stars. Jiang Feng saw Lin Xian's action and became even angrier. Get out of my way! What's a piece of trash like you doing? Lin Xian's face darkened. He looked at Jiang Feng coldly. It's not certain who's the trash. I advise you not to bite people like a mad dog. Kid, you're looking for death. How dare you talk to me like that? I'll kill you right now. Jiang Feng was furious. A half-step harmonious spirit kid dared to talk to him like that. Kneel down and apologize, or I'll make sure you die a horrible death. Jiang Feng released a powerful aura towards Lin Xian. What do you want? You'll have to ask me first if you dare to bully little brother Lin. Dongfang Xiong stood out. His tall body and fierce eyes made him look like a peerless beast that had appeared in the human world. Everyone thought of the scene when he hit 6 stars and felt an indescribable pressure. How is this a human? This is a beast in human form. Jiang Feng's face darkened. To be honest, he didn't have the confidence to deal with this big guy. Humph. Let's see what a piece of trash like you can do. Jiang Feng sneered. Lin Xian's face darkened slightly. This fellow had provoked him time and time again, causing a killing intent to well up in his heart. But he still managed to control his killing intent. Now that he was in a foreign country, he didn't dare to be careless, and this Jiang family seemed to be related to the person he was looking for. So Lin Xian didn't make a move. But if there was a chance, he wouldn't let Jiang Feng go. Thinking of this, he calmed down and quickly walked to the strength testing stone. This time, he planned to use his real strength. The art of longevity in his body began to circulate, forming a powerful force. Silver lightning appeared on his body, making a crackling sound. The next moment, the surface of his body was covered with mysterious silver lightning runes, as if the god of thunder had descended. Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. They felt an astonishing pressure from Lin Xian. Could it be that this fellow didn't use his full strength just now? The crowd found it hard to imagine. The white-robed youth was also surprised. He looked at Lin Xian with a serious expression, his eyes shining with a dazzling light. At the side, Jiang Feng's face became even darker. Lin Xian's aura made him feel extremely uneasy. Damn it! Who the hell is this kid? How could he have such a martial skill? Only Dongfang Xiong grinned foolishly. He had been with Lin Xian for more than a month, so he naturally knew his strength. Lin Xian's physical strength wasn't any weaker than his. Furthermore, Dongfang Xiong knew that Lin Xian was also a swordsman. A swordsman's most powerful ability was, of course, his sword. I thought I was strong enough. I didn't expect there to be someone even stronger. Silver lightning crackled around Lin Xian's body, carrying an extremely dangerous aura. As he walked, he let out a thunderous sound. Clenching his right fist, Lin Xian took a step forward. His body slightly arched like a ferocious cheetah, ready to attack at any time. Boom! Lightning flashed as the silver fist landed on the strength testing stone, letting out an explosive sound. Silver lightning surged, turning the surroundings into a sea of lightning. Occasionally, lightning leaked out, causing cracks to appear on the hard ground. After a while, the silver light dissipated, revealing a black strength testing stone. The crowd looked at the strength testing stone with anticipation. On the black strength testing stone, the first 5 stars quickly lit up, and the 5th star instantly turned purplish black. Buzz! Immediately after, the 6 stars on the stone suddenly lit up, emitting a dazzling light. It's here! The 6th star really appeared. Freak! Too freakish! Everyone cried out in alarm, their expressions stupefied. Hee hee, Brother Lin, good job! Dongfang Xiong grinned. This guy is definitely not simple. The white-robed young man's expression changed slightly. For the first time, he looked at Lin Xian seriously. Half-step harmonious spirit cultivation, but his strength is frightening. That strike just now definitely exceeded 100,000 Jin. The white-robed young man's expression turned serious. When did such a young expert appear in Green Mountain City? Impossible, this guy can't hit 6 stars. Jiang Feng's expression was very ugly, as if he had eaten a dead fly. Too embarrassing. Someone who was weak, someone whom he viewed as trash, was actually able to hit out 6 stars. He tried twice, but he could only hit 5 stars. This result was too ironic. This was simply slapping his face. Not only did he lose face, but the Jiang family also lost face. Brat, what kind of shameful method did you use? If you know what's good for you, quickly say it. Otherwise, I'll kill you today. Jiang Feng tried his best to distort the truth. Yes, you must have used some shameful method. Little bastard, you're really shameless. The 2 Jiang family disciples beside him also shouted coldly. Shameful method? Lin Xian sneered. The 3 of you are really disappointing. It's fine if you don't have the strength. It's not shameful, but not admitting defeat and distorting the truth. This is shameful. It's really disappointing that the Jiang family has disciples like you. Lin Xian's words were sharp and merciless. You, what did you say? The 2 Jiang family disciples were angry. Do you believe that I won't cripple you right now? You can try. Lin Xian took a step forward. The silver lightning on his body turned into a silver dragon and swooped down. Boom! The 2 Jiang family disciples were frightened by this powerful force and sat on the ground. Their faces were as pale as paper. Good, good. The crowd cheered in a low voice. They had long disliked these 3 people, but because of the Jiang family status, they didn't dare to do anything. However, Lin Xian's fierce counterattack made these people very happy. You dare to make a move against a Jiang family disciple? Jiang Feng was furious. His robe fluttered and was filled with terrifying spiritual energy. Don't think that being able to hit out 6 stars is something amazing. You only have great strength, but your cultivation is too weak. I can use my spiritual pressure to crush you to death. Now, I will give you a chance to live. Jiang Feng said arrogantly. Kneel down and break your arms, then I will spare your life. Jiang Feng had a high and mighty look. He didn't put Lin Xian in his eyes at all. Everyone was silent. Jiang Feng was indeed the same as the rumors. Not only was he arrogant, but he was also cruel. Being able to hit out 6 stars is nothing amazing. If we really fight, I can destroy you with one hand. Jiang Feng had unlimited confidence. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes and said, It is indeed nothing amazing. But you can't even hit out 6 stars. Aren't you too useless? I don't know. What qualifications do you have to be so arrogant? I am a Jiang family disciple. That is enough. Jiang Feng's voice was as cold as a blade. Offending me will only result in death. Jiang family? Lin Xian laughed. In the end, you are just a useless trash that relies on your family. Once you leave your family, you are nothing. What a sharp-tongued brat. But no matter what you say today, you will not be able to escape death. Jiang Feng's face was malevolent like an injured beast. This was the pain in his heart. Now, it was mercilessly exposed by Lin Xian. A cold aura enveloped the surroundings. A terrifying blue fist image formed behind him. Coordinating with the surrounding spiritual energy, it blasted towards Lin Xian. Chapter 369. Jiang Feng was very powerful. A blue fist shadow formed behind him and blasted towards Lin Xian with a violent aura. Lin Xian didn't dodge. He just stood there quietly. Why aren't you dodging? Everyone was stunned and couldn't help but worry for him. Could it be that he intends to take it head-on? The young man in white guessed. He must have been scared silly. The 2 disciples of the Jiang family sneered. If you don't dodge, then die. A ferocious look appeared in Jiang Feng's eyes, and he channeled his spiritual power even more vigorously. He wanted to turn Lin Xian into minced meat with a single punch. Seeing the blue fist getting closer and closer, A mysterious rune suddenly appeared in Lin Xian's eyes. What followed was a powerful soul force. After Lin Xian became a Grade 3 inscription master, he once again used his eye technique to attack. 1. An invisible energy wave quickly passed through the fist shadows and acted on Jiang Feng's body. Puff! Jiang Feng's body trembled, and the speed of his attack slowed down. The huge blue fist in the sky also quickly disappeared. This scene caused everyone to be stunned. Jiang Feng's face contorted as if he was in great pain. The blue spirit power in his body rumbled, and in the next moment he actually broke through Lin Xian's pupil technique. Unorthodox sect, die. Jiang Feng pounced like a wild beast. Lin Xian was surprised. His soul force was very strong. Ordinary harmonious spirit realm warriors were no match for him in terms of soul force. But this Jiang Feng was actually able to break through his eye technique attack, which really surprised him. As expected of the Dragon Star Empire, the strength of their martial artists is indeed formidable. Lin Xian once again experienced the strength of this country's martial artists, which was far beyond that of the Heavenly Mountain Empire. However, Lin Xian had more than one method. The inscriptions in his eyes changed rapidly, forming 3 flower patterns. An even more powerful illusion attack rushed towards Jiang Feng. With a blood-curdling scream, Jiang Feng finally couldn't hold on any longer, and his body collapsed. Like a puppet, he stood there with a pained expression on his face. Brother Feng, Brother Feng! 2 of the Jiang family's disciples stepped forward and shouted crazily. Puff! Jiang Feng seemed to have suffered a heavy blow. He spat out a mouthful of blood and collapsed. What did you do to Brother Feng? The 2 disciples screamed. Everyone was horrified, as if they had seen a ghost. They only saw Lin Xian glare at Jiang Feng, who stood there motionless. Then they saw Jiang Feng coughing up blood. What kind of attack is that? Isn't it too strange? Everyone was puzzled. Could it be a soul attack? Someone was puzzled. That's right, it was indeed a soul attack. I didn't expect that brat's soul force to be so powerful. An expert recognized. The Dragon Star Strong Country was truly extraordinary. In just an instant, there were martial artists who recognized the soul attack. You're dead for injuring a disciple of the Jiang clan. That's right. No one can save you if you offend the Jiang family. The 2 disciples of the Jiang family shouted crazily. Lin Xian's expression was grave and stern. His gaze was like 2 sharp swords that pierced into their hearts. Their bodies stiffened and trembled uncontrollably. They sat on the ground like dead dogs, cold sweat flowing down their bodies like rivers. Jiang Feng glared hatefully at Lin Xian. Although he wanted to attack, he didn't have an ounce of strength. Although he only paused for a moment in the outside world, in the spiritual world, he suffered a long period of cruel torture. With a sneer, Lin Xian turned and was about to leave. Dongfang Xiong and Situ quickly followed behind him. Wait a moment, you 2 little brothers. Wait a moment. At this moment, the short old man who had been silent all this time suddenly called out. Old man, we've already given you the spirit stones. Dongfang Xiong scratched his head and said, Why are you looking for us? It's not about money. The old man stroked his goatee and smiled evilly. This strength-testing stone was obtained from a sect with much difficulty. At that time, this old man promised them that I would definitely send them a few youths who could reach 6-star. You 2 are just right. Everyone rolled their eyes. No matter how they looked at it, they felt that this little old man was a swindler. That won't do. Dongfang Xiong scratched his head and said, I'm going to join the Dragon Elephant sect. What? Dragon Elephant sect? Everyone was shocked. Their mouths were wide open as if they could swallow an egg. The white-clothed youth's expression was serious. Then he used a serious gaze to size up Dongfang Xiong. The 3 Jiang family disciples sitting on the ground trembled. It was as if the 3 words dragon elephant sect had endless magic. The old man with the goatee's eyes flashed. Then he looked at Dongfang Xiong with interest. It was no wonder that these people were surprised. The Dragon Elephant sect was one of the 6 major powers of the Dragon Elephant Strong Country. It was a peak power above everyone else. Lin Xian was also stunned. He didn't expect that the seemingly simple and honest youth beside him was aiming for a peak sect. The old man with the goatee squinted his eyes. Young man, don't worry. My sect is definitely not inferior to the Dragon Elephant sect. Everyone was stunned. Not inferior to the Dragon Elephant sect? In the Dragon Elephant Strong Country, the only sect on the same level as the Dragon Elephant sect was the Great Flag sect. However, the Great Flag sect didn't focus on powerful physical techniques. This old man is obviously an old swindler. Everyone shook their heads. Really? I can think about it. Dongfang Xiong scratched his head and said, How about this? After you go with me, I guarantee that you will enter the inner sect within 3 months. The old man with the goatee smiled. How about it? This is a green path, specially opened for you. Okay, I promise you. Dongfang Xiong nodded his head. Everyone was stunned. This is also possible. AI, such a good martial arts genius, was actually cheated away by an old swindler. Lin Xian was not too worried. Although Dongfang Xiong looked simple and honest, he had never suffered a loss before. He was definitely a wise youth. The old man with the goatee was overjoyed. He once again turned his head to look at Lin Xian. Young man, what about you? Lin Xian rubbed his nose. Many thanks for old man's good intentions. However, I cannot join your sect. Oh, why is that? The old man with the goatee asked. This time, I came to the Dragon Star Strong Country to find person. Furthermore, my martial arts are not in the aspect of body refinement. Not in body refinement? Everyone was stunned. You already hit out 6 stars, and you still say that you don't specialize in body refinement. This brat wouldn't die trying to act cool, right? There is a possibility. Perhaps it is to attract the old man's attention. The short old man had a face of astonishment. However, when he recalled that Lin Xian had used his soul eye technique, he understood. Forget it. This brat might be a soul cultivator. He shook his head. Furthermore, his body refinement technique seems to be very special. All right, since it is like this, I will not force you. Finishing, the short old man looked at Dongfang Xiong. You can leave with me. Hee, little brother Lin, let's meet again if fate allows. Dongfang Xiong waved towards Lin Xian and Situ Jing before leaving with the short old man. Big brother Dongfang, what about your reward? Situ Jing asked loudly. I don't want it anymore. Dongfang Xiong laughed. Let's go. Lin Xian pulled Situ Jing and prepared to leave. Looking at Lin Xian's back, Jiang Feng and the other 2 revealed a sinister gaze. Chapter 370. Brother Feng, what should we do? Are we just going to watch that brat leave? The 2 Jiang family disciples said angrily, We're injured now, so we shouldn't act rashly. Let that brat be proud for a while. When we recover, it'll be his time to die. Let's go, you 2 help me up. Jiang Feng gritted his teeth and said. The 2 Jiang family disciples supported Jiang Feng and walked towards the Jiang residence shakily. Lin Xian and Situ Jing left the strength testing stone stall and returned to the Jiang residence. At this moment, Situ Tao had already handed over the goods and received a generous reward. When he saw Lin Xian return, a smile appeared on his sallow face. Brother Lin, you're finally back. This is your reward. Situ Tao said happily. Where's Brother Dongfang? He's not here? Brother Dongfang left. He even said he didn't want the reward. Situ Jing said. After that, Lin Xian briefly explained the situation to Situ Tao and Situ Tao quickly understood. Forget it. It seems like Brother Dongfang has a great opportunity. We can only wish him well. Situ Tao said, Brother Lin, what do you plan to do next? Me? Lin Xian pondered for a moment, then said in a deep voice, I want to meet the Jiang family's elder. Jiang family's elder? Situ Tao was stunned for a moment. Brother Lin, are you in trouble? To be honest, I'm here to find someone. This person might have a lot to do with the Jiang family. Lin Xian explained. All right, I've been handing over goods with Elder Jiang Song all year round, so I'm quite familiar with him. How about this? I'll bring you to see him tomorrow. Uncle Situ, why don't you bring me there now? All right, follow me. Situ Tao saw that Lin Xian was a little anxious, so he didn't dare to delay. The two of them walked towards Elder Jiang Song's residence. On the other hand, when Jiang Feng and the other two returned to the Jiang residence with injuries, they immediately alarmed the entire Jiang residence. The disciple in charge of guarding the door was even more shocked as he rushed forward. Brother Jiang Feng, what happened? Who beat you up like this? Rebellion, this is rebellion. How dare someone hit a disciple of the Jiang family? Brother Feng, where is he? I'll go kill him. Jiang Feng waved his hand weakly. That kid ran away a long time ago. Help me back to recuperate. Everyone did not dare to be negligent and hurriedly helped Jiang Feng's group of 3 inside. In one of the Jiang Manor's courtyards, Elder Jiang Song looked at Lin Xian with a slight frown. Situ Tao, why did you bring a child here? Elder Jiang, I have some questions to ask, Lin Xian said slowly. Oh, you're asking me? What's the matter? A trace of surprise appeared on Elder Jiang Song's face. He had never met Lin Xian, let alone had any interactions with Lin Xian, so he was very curious about what Lin Xian wanted to ask. Elder, may I ask if there is a person called Jiang Sanfeng in the Jiang estate? Lin Xian asked with a glimmer of hope. Jiang Sanfeng. Elder Jiang Song's expression was strange. Why are you asking this? Seeing the vigilance in Elder Jiang Song's eyes, Lin Xian smiled. Elder, please don't worry. I'm only here to look for this person under the orders of my elders. Seeing that Lin Xian did not seem to be lying, Elder Jiang Song nodded slightly. There is indeed a person called Jiang Sanfeng in the Jiang estate, but I wonder which one you are looking for. Which one? Lin Xian was stunned. There were actually many people called Jiang Sanfeng. He did not expect this situation. After thinking for a moment, he said in a deep voice, the person I'm looking for is at least middle-aged. According to Old Man DK, this person was saved by him a few decades ago. Now, this person was at least 50 years old, which was why Lin Xian said this. Middle-aged? Jiang Song raised his teacup. There is indeed an elder called Jiang Sanfeng in the Jiang estate. Elder, can you introduce me to him? Lin Xian felt a glimmer of hope in his heart. Elder Jiang Sanfeng is the elder of the Martial Skills Pavilion in the estate. He has a high position and is not someone you can meet. Elder Jiang Song refused flatly. Moreover, Elder Jiang Sanfeng has not left the Martial Skills Pavilion for many years. He can't be the person you are looking for. Lin Xian's face darkened. The elder of the Martial Skills Pavilion had a high position. It seemed that this person was very likely to be the person he was looking for. However, an elder with such a high position would not meet an unknown young man like him. Take this time as an example. If it was not for Situ Tao's recommendation, he would not have met Elder Jiang Song. All right, you can leave now. The Jiang clan is approaching, and the estate is very busy. Don't come again. Otherwise, don't blame me for being rude. Elder Jiang Song said in a deep voice. Brother Lin, let's go. Don't disturb Elder Jiang Song, Situ Tao said softly. All right. Lin Xian sighed. He had no other choice but to leave temporarily. However, when he turned around, he heard Elder Jiang Song's whisper. Sigh, there's not much time left. He still hasn't broken through. Breakthrough? Lin Xian's eyes turned. He remembered Elder Jiang Song talking about the clan meeting. If he guessed correctly, the clan meeting of such a large clan would definitely have a competition between the younger generation. The Jiang clan in Qingshan City was probably just a small branch. Elder Jiang Song must be worried about the cultivation of the younger generation. Seems like there's a way. Lin Xian's lips curled into a smile. He stopped in his tracks and suddenly turned around to look at Elder Jiang Song with a smile. Hey, why aren't you leaving? Elder Jiang Song's face darkened as he asked sternly. I heard that Elder seemed to be worried about the cultivation of the Jiang clan disciples. Is that true? Lin Xian asked. How dare you eavesdrop? Elder Jiang Song's eyes flashed coldly. His anger scared Situ Tao so much that he almost fell. Elder, please calm down. I didn't mean to eavesdrop. I just wanted to share some of Elder's worries. Worries? Do you have a way? If you want to increase your cultivation in a short period of time, I might have a way. Lin Xian's face was calm and confident. You? Elder Jiang Song revealed a suspicious look. Young man, let me give you a piece of advice. Don't boast. The Jiang clan isn't a place where you can behave atrociously. Elder Jiang Song's tone carried a trace of coldness. If Lin Xian wasn't brought here by Sidu Tao, he would have already kicked Lin Xian out. It was no wonder that Elder Jiang Song didn't believe him. Lin Xian was indeed too young. No matter how he looked at him, he looked like someone from a small country. How could this kind of person have a way? Seeing Elder Jiang Song's suspicion, Lin Xian smiled. He didn't expect Elder Jiang Song to believe him so easily. However, he had plenty of ways. 3 lines, Void Spirit Pill. It can allow a harmonious spirit realm martial artist to increase a small realm. I wonder if Elder Jiang Song has heard of it? What? Hearing Lin Xian's words, Elder Jiang Song's arm trembled. The teacup in his hand suddenly shook and the spirit tea inside spilled out. Chapter 371. You know of the 3-patterned Void Spirit Pill. Elder Jiang Song asked with a trembling voice. He looked like a completely different person from before. He no longer had the cold and stern look from before. Of course. Lin Xian gave a mysterious smile. All right, Situ Tao, you may leave first. I have something to discuss with young Hero Lin, Elder Jiang Song said in a deep voice after calming himself down. After sending Situ Tao away, Elder Jiang Song looked at Lin Xian. All right, there's no one here. Tell me honestly, how do you know of the 3-patterned Void Spirit Pill? Jiang Song asked. Not only have I heard of the 3-patterned Void Spirit Pill, but I also know how to refine it, Lin Xian said with a smile. You know how to refine it? Elder Jiang Song was even more surprised. His eyes flickered as he stared at Lin Xian and sighed. Young man, don't speak too loudly. Otherwise, it won't be easy to clean up the mess. How would I dare lie in front of an elder? Lin Xian said seriously. Humph, it looks like if I don't teach you a lesson, you will really think that the Jiang family is easy to deceive. Elder Jiang Song's expression suddenly sank as he said in a deep voice, I saw this 3-patterned Void Spirit Pill in an ancient book. Not only is it difficult to refine, but the pill formula is also said to have been lost. How can a young man like you refine such a precious pill? Naturally, it was taught to me by my master. The corners of Lin Xian's mouth curled up. He once again used his mysterious and powerful master to intimidate the other party. Master? Elder Jiang Song still didn't believe him. Shao Xuanzi, do as I say. I guarantee that this old man will be convinced, Lord Alcohol said with a voice transmission. Lin Xian nodded slightly before looking at Elder Jiang Song and slowly saying, "Elder, is there an intense evil fire in your body? Furthermore, your spirit energy is often misaligned, preventing you from calming down." How do you know? Elder Jiang Song was astonished. "I can tell from Elder's face that these kids are overworking themselves. They're just too anxious. Furthermore, Elder's pursuit of martial arts is a little impatient. As a result, there's an evil fire in his body, preventing his spirit energy from circulating smoothly." Elder Jiang Feng was shocked. What Lin Xian said was basically the same as the truth. Now, he was 70 to 80% sure that Lin Xian wouldn't have known about this if he didn't have a powerful ability. Seeing the change in Elder Jiang Song, Lin Xian smiled again. "Actually, this symptom is very easy to treat. As long as Elder can relax and take the revitalization pill that I have refined, I guarantee that you will recover completely within 3 days." "Really?" Elder Jiang Song's face was filled with joy. The recent matters needed him too much. He couldn't let anything happen to his body at this time. "I wouldn't dare to deceive an elder," Lin Xian said. "Then, what about the matter of the 3-mark spirit void pill?" Elder Jiang Song asked again. "Of course it's true. I can concoct a 3-mark void spirit pill for the Jiang residents. However, Elder, please refer me to Senior Jiang Sanfeng." "All right, as long as you can refine the 3-mark spirit void pill, I will definitely recommend you." Elder Jiang Song patted his chest and promised. This pill was too important to the Jiang residents. It might be able to turn the situation around in the family meeting. Refining the 3-mark fish spirit void pill requires some precious spiritual herbs. I wonder how long until the Jiang family meeting? There's still a month. Is there enough time? Elder Jiang Song was nervous. "Almost. As long as the medicinal herbs are gathered, I will only need 2 or 3 days to refine it." Next, Lin Xian took out a pen and paper and began to list the required medicinal herbs. Soon, he handed the paper over. "These are the medicinal herbs that the spiritual apothecary needs to refine the 3-mark spirit void pill. Senior, please hurry up. The following medicinal herbs are to help you get rid of the evil fire in your body." "The required medicinal herbs are still here," Lin Xian said. Elder Jiang Song skimmed through it and found that the 3-mark spirit void pill was indeed some precious medicinal herbs. He had been in charge of the family business for many years and had some understanding of medicinal herbs. Therefore, he could roughly see that Lin Xian's medicinal herbs were not written casually but contained a certain pharmacology. "Young Hero Lin, don't worry. I will arrange for people to gather them quickly. Please stay in the Jiang residence for a few days." "Good. I will wait for the medicinal herbs to arrive." After that, Lin Xian left. When he returned to his residence, the father and son, Situ Tao and Situ Jing, had already left. They were here to deliver the goods, so naturally they could stay in the Jiang residence for a long time. After resting for a short while, a servant came over and led Lin Xian to a quiet and secluded courtyard. In the following days, Lin Xian stayed in the Jiang residence with peace of mind. During this time, he concentrated on studying martial arts and waited patiently. Half a month later, a servant dressed in a green robe and a small hat came to pass a message, inviting Lin Xian to meet Elder Jiang Song. "It's ready so quickly. It seems like the Jiang residence has some tricks up their sleeves," Lin Xian exclaimed in his heart. Then, a trace of joy appeared on his face. He had filled in the number of spiritual herbs for 3 batches. Firstly, it was to ensure the success rate. Secondly, he needed one for himself to break through to the harmonious spirit realm. With this 3 lines void spirit pill, he could shorten the time needed to break through by a few months. This way, he could have more time to comprehend the martial arts concept. After tidying up his clothes, Lin Xian followed the servant with a smile. The huge Jiang residence was like a maze. Lin Xian walked along the long corridor, constantly looking around. Pavilions, terraces, mountains, and waterfalls were all arranged in picturesque disorder. It was pleasing to the eye. It's you!" Suddenly, a surprised voice came, followed by a furious shout. His voice was laced with deep hatred. Lin Xian turned his head and saw two well-dressed disciples standing not far from him. Their faces were ferocious. These two people were the two young men who had followed Jiang Feng back then. "Brat, you dare to come to the Jiang residence and behave atrociously. You must be tired of waiting. Humph, this time, even the gods won't be able to save you." The two laughed sinisterly. "Go and inform Brother Feng. This time we must kill him." Beside them, the servant in green clothes and a small hat wanted to explain, but the young man left in a hurry. The remaining one stared at Lin Xian with a sneer. "To be honest, killing you in the Jiang residence is as easy as killing an ant." Lin Xian smiled and didn't say anything. His identity was different now, so he wasn't afraid of these disciples. However, the servant in green clothes beside him was nervous. He anxiously said, "Young Hero Lin is—" "Bullshit, young Hero Lin! Shut up! You have no right to speak here." The young man emitted a terrifying aura. The servant in green clothes didn't dare to speak. The one who spoke was called Jiang Dong. He had killed a few servants in the past. "Where is that little bastard?" A loud shout came. Then a purple figure landed on the ground like lightning. It was Jiang Feng. Other than him, there were 4 or 5 disciples of the Jiang family following behind him. Suddenly, the entire corridor was completely surrounded. This grand scene immediately attracted the attention of the people nearby. There were servants, maids, and other disciples of the Jiang family. "Little bastard, it's really you." Jiang Feng looked at Lin Xian with flames of hatred in his eyes. Chapter 372. "Who are you calling little bastard?" Lin Xian said with a smile. "The little bastard is calling you," Jiang Feng said through gritted teeth. As soon as he said that, the nearby disciples who were watching the show burst into laughter. The servants were also trying their best to hold back their laughter. Jiang Feng instantly understood the meaning of this sentence. His face darkened and became ferocious. "Kid, you still dare to play tricks when you're at death's door. I'll cut off your tongue and chop it into 18 pieces. I'm warning you. I'm now an honored guest of the Jiang mansion. You'd better not provoke me, or you won't be able to bear the consequences." Lin Xian said slowly. "Honored guest?" Jiang Feng sneered. "How can a country bumpkin like you be an honored guest? You're even worse than a servant in the mansion." "That's right. I think you must have lied to the Jiang family. Today, I'll execute you on the spot to prevent you from lying to others in the future." The nearby Jiang family disciples also sneered. In their opinion, how could a country bumpkin like Lin Xian have any connection with the Jiang family? Seeing the expressions of the Jiang family disciples, the servant in green was about to cry. Before they came here, Elder Jiang Song had repeatedly instructed them to serve Lin Xian well. From his words, it could be seen that Lin Xian was definitely an honored guest, or at least an honored guest of Elder Jiang Song. If something were to happen to Lin Xian, he would definitely be the one to suffer. The servant in green rolled his eyes. He could sneak away when no one was paying attention. Everyone present had their eyes on Lin Xian, and no one paid attention to the servant. "Kid, I'll break your limbs first, cripple your martial arts, and let you live like a dog." Jiang Feng condensed a terrifying aura and walked forward step by step. The surrounding disciples also drew their shiny weapons and rushed toward Lin Xian. Lin Xian's soul was powerful. He had already sensed a powerful aura coming, so he was not afraid at all. Sure enough, just as Jiang Feng and the others drew their weapons, an angry roar was heard. "Stop! This voice was like a clap of thunder that exploded above the long corridor, causing the surrounding disciples' eardrums to tremble and their bodies to tremble. Apart from Lin Xian, everyone else channeled their spiritual energy to resist the impact of the sound waves. When they successfully resisted the sound waves and looked ahead, their expressions changed drastically. In the long corridor, an old figure had appeared out of nowhere, exuding a frightening aura. Elder Jiang Song. Everyone was surprised. They couldn't figure out why Elder Jiang Song would come here. Elder, you've come at the right time. This brat has deceived the Jiang family time and time again, and even injured the foundation of the Jiang family. Today, we must tear him into pieces. Yes, we must kill him. All of them were brought here by Zhang Feng. At this moment, they were all glaring at Ling Xian. A bunch of trash. You don't practice martial arts properly and only know how to bully others. Now hurry up and scram. Elder Jiang Song shouted coldly. What? Everyone was stunned, seemingly not expecting Elder Jiang Song to berate them. They were the disciples of the Jiang family. Lin Xian was the outsider who had offended them. Why, Elder, were you deceived by this brat's words? He's a liar. Don't believe his words. Jiang Feng and the rest shouted frantically. What else do you want to say? Do I need you to teach me my business? Elder Jiang Song's face darkened as he looked coldly at Jiang Feng and the rest. These disciples were too abominable. It was fine if they were outside, but now they dared to touch his guest. If they hurt Lin Xian, he was afraid that his 3-mark spirit void elixir would be ruined. A powerful aura pervaded the air like a huge mountain, making it difficult for everyone to breathe. If it weren't for the fact that the family meeting is about to begin, I wouldn't have let you off so easily. Now hurry up and scram. The group was afraid, and all of them left with their tails between their legs. Jiang Feng's body trembled, and his eyes were filled with unwillingness. He glared fiercely at Lin Xian, but in the end he could only clench his teeth and retreat. He knew that if he angered the elder at this juncture, the consequences would be severe. I don't know what he said to make the elder believe him so much. Jiang Feng clenched his fists, his heart going crazy. Seeing that everyone had left, Elder Jiang Song smiled and said, Young Hero Lin, please don't take offense. These disciples have been spoiled. It's fine. Lin Xian smiled. He naturally wouldn't lower himself to the same level as these people. If he really wanted to fight, he was confident that he could get rid of these people within 3 moves. Are the herbs ready? Lin Xian asked. Yes. Young Hero Lin, please follow me. Under Elder Jiang Tao's lead, Lin Xian came to a magnificent hall. Looking at the table full of herbs, Lin Xian narrowed his eyes and smiled with satisfaction. Young Hero Lin, take a look and see if these herbs are enough? Elder Jiang Tao asked. Looking around, Lin Xian immediately had an answer. As expected of the Jiang manner, to be able to gather so many precious herbs in such a short time. Hearing Lin Xian's answer, Elder Jiang Tao laughed. Then when can young Hero Lin start? Recently, I feel that the circulation of my spiritual energy is becoming more and more difficult. I can start now. Lin Xian said, Elder, don't worry. I will help you refine the clear pill first. In fact, Lin Xian had planned to refine the clear pill from the beginning. After all, the herbs needed for the 3-mark spirit void pill were extremely precious. Before he showed his strength, Elder Jiang Tao probably wouldn't let him refine it easily. This could be seen from the order of the herbs on the table. The herbs for the clear pill were placed at the front, and the herbs for the 3-mark spirit void pill were placed in the corner. Hearing Lin Xian's answer, Elder Jiang Tao nodded with satisfaction. Good. Young Hero Lin, please wait a moment. I will prepare a good alchemy room for you. While Elder Jiang Tao was preparing these things, Jiang Feng and the others found another handsome youth. Cousin, you have to uphold justice for me. Jiang Feng cried. The young man was sitting cross-legged on the bed. When he heard Jiang Feng's cries, he opened his eyes. His sharp gaze pierced through the void like a sword and a saber. What's the matter? Why are you in such a hurry? The young man's tone was cold. Thus, Jiang Feng told him everything about Lin Xian. In the process, he had even exaggerated and painted Lin Feng as a heinous villain. Cousin, I don't know what method Lin Xian used to bewitch Elder Jiang Tao. I'm afraid that he will do something harmful to the Jiang clan. You have to stop him. Jiang Feng's cousin, the cold young man, was called Jiang Jian. His status was much higher than Jiang Feng's. Moreover, his grandfather was an elder of the Jiang clan. Don't worry. No one can behave atrociously in Jiangsu, and no one can bewitch the Jiang clan's elder. Jiang Jian said coldly. In the main hall of the Jiang clan, Lin Xian was sitting on a red chair. He was drinking high-quality spiritual tea as he waited quietly. Suddenly, a few silhouettes appeared at the entrance of the main hall. They walked with an imposing manner. It was obvious that they were here to cause trouble. You're tuning in to the Thunder Spear YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.